Across the UK, online and on DAB.
Talk Radio. We'll get you talking. Talk Radio.
My mum always said, if you can't say anything good about something, don't say nothing at all. Busy show this evening. Herbie Flowers is coming on. Most of you won't know his name. You'll know his finger plucking. I'm Iain Lee. This is Talk Radio.
Late night, Iain Lee on Talk Radio.
We have ways of making you talk.
Brother bought a coconut, he bought it for the time. His sister had another one, she paid it for the lime. She put the lime in the coconut, she drank and poured up. She put the lime in the coconut, she drank and poured up. She put the lime in the coconut, she drank and poured up. She put the lime in the coconut, she called the doctor, woke him up and said, Doctor, ain't there nothing I can take? I said, Doctor, to relieve this bellyache. I said, Doctor, ain't there nothing I can take? I said, Doctor, to relieve this bellyache. Now let me get this straight. Put the lime in the coconut, you drank and poured up. Put the lime in the coconut, you drank and poured up. Put the lime in the coconut, you drank and poured up. Put the lime in the coconut, you called the doctor, woke him up, said, Doctor, ain't there nothing I can take? I said, Doctor, to relieve his bellyache. I said, Doctor, ain't there nothing I can take? I said, Doctor, to relieve his bellyache. You put the lime in the coconut, you drink them both together. Put the lime in the coconut and you feel better. Put the lime in the coconut, drink them both up. Put the lime in the coconut and call me in the morning. He bought it for the time. His sister had another one. She paid it for the lime. She paid the lime in the coconut. She drank and poured up. And there's the lime in the coconut. She called it doctor.
You know, this song, for some reason, it's always freaked me out and made me slightly uncomfortable, but also made me laugh a lot. It's, of course, Harry Nilsson and Coconut, the coconut song, put the lime in the coconut, whatever you want to call it. As you know, dear listener, I'm only now at the age of 43 discovering that Harry Nilsson was your actual proper bona fide genius. A nightmare to work with, perhaps, but an absolute genius. And reading the brilliant book about Harry Nilsson, by Alan Shipton, and we had him on last week. And it's really interesting when you discover new artists for the first time. And you see all these names in these books and on these record sleeves and on the CD notes, and you make little mental connections. And all I'm reading a Tiny Tim book, and I believe the producer of that album was Richard Perry, who also produced Tiny Tim. So all these things kind of link up. And there's one name that keeps popping up time and time again if you're reading a certain brand of rock biography. And it's Mr. Herbie Flowers. Now, most of you won't know Herbie's name, and it's understandable, but you will know his bass work. I guarantee you will know at least a handful of the hundreds of songs he's played on. And I'm so thrilled to say that Herbie's on the line now. Good evening, Herbie.
Hello, Ian. God, that's so going over the top there.
Come on, man, it's true. You played on so many things.
Yeah, but I played off of a load of things as well. You know, I only played bass on that piece by Harry once, and that took 20 minutes because Harry had written it in the studio there and then. And it's the idea of the song, I think, is a young lady going to the doctor because she had funny feelings in her tummy, and that was the remedy that he gave. But that's all I know about it. But,
it was Richard Perry, wasn't it, that produced Nilsson Schmilsson?
It certainly was, but we don't see much of the producer on the sessions because they go upstairs. They're in the control box, and in Trident Studios, the control box was upstairs, and Trident was downstairs. I think it used to be a swimming pool in a fancy apartment at one time.
Fantastic.
But the producer, his job is to first get the right people together, and then leave them alone and get a good sound upstairs. And often when they would come down and interfere, they'd help to miss the moment.
Yeah. It
was genius that Richard Perry is.
Is it? I imagine a lot of session work and recording is trying to capture that certain something that there is no word for. You know, that magic. You're trying to capture magic.
Well, yeah, that's the producer's job and the record company's job in those days, although record companies don't really exist anymore, and I don't think the producer's profession exists. Most people compose their own material and they lay the tracks on a laptop instead of in a huge recording complex, and I think it's a wonderful thing because often people, their original material gets buried underneath loads of violins and click tracks and auto-tunes and stuff like that, and I can't be bothered with that. All those tracks that we did with Harry Nilsson were all done pretty much live, and that's where the good producer comes in. He or she can sit upstairs and if they don't like what they're hearing, they say, well, thanks, we'll go on to the next one. And then at 5 o'clock, when you go out of the studio, they phone somebody else up and get them in to replace what you did.
What was Harry like? Because Nilsson Schmilsson was kind of, if I've got this right, the sort of tipping point. It was his biggest selling record, but it was when he was really starting to be a heavy boozer. Did you get to kind of talk to him much, or was it you went in, you did the song and left?
But I don't, because I have a confidentiality principle.
Yeah.
Because I work for these people, everything about them. I only ever saw artists.
Yeah.
At work, although Harry and I became good buddies when he came over.
And I'm not asking you in any way to dish the dirt at all. I just mean as a because I'm just starting to discover the fact he was a flipping genius, and I just wondered how that genius manifested itself when you were putting songs together with him.
Yes, the songs were great, and we all looked at each other and thought, well, the idea of getting people like Chris Spedding and whoever else was on the session. Our job is to try and come up with something that is different, and all great records do have something different, and I think studio players are expected to come up with a bit of fairy dust every so often, otherwise we wouldn't work, and that's a bit of a pressure, but I loved it, but only a quarter of the work that I did, and the quarter of the work that I do now is recording.
Yeah.
I'm a bit of a live old jazzer, and I think why Harry and Richard Perry liked working with the likes of Barry Morgan and Chris Spedding and myself, or Rick Wakeman maybe, were because we had a slight talent for playing music with a swung beat, for want of a better expression. We could improvise a little bit, and that's what they were looking for. Or they would get a musical director that would say, here's a piece of music.
Yeah.
Now, will you just play the notes that are written there and nothing more, nothing less? Like Henry Mancini wanting do-do-do-do, do-do-do-do. That's what you had to play. You couldn't go do-do-do-do-do. He said, no, just read the part, man. So you have to use your loaf. And when Harry's coming up with a song like lime, put the lime in the coconut, all I can do on that as a bass player is go boom, boom. That's my job. Nothing clever.
Do you, when you explain how you became a session musician first of all, because that's you were in a band, you were in Blue Mink, which I
was in loads of things before that. I was in the Tiffin Boys School band when I was 11, and then I was in the Royal Air Force Far East Air Force Band in 1955, then the Royal Air Force Central Band when I came back from the Far East after 3 years. And after that, doing loads of work in theatres and nightclubs like Danny LaRue's Club and Paul Raymond's Review Bar, and getting a lot of experience at sight reading and playing all different kinds of music. I mean, the thought of being in one band doing 12 songs over and over is not really a very interesting proposition for anybody.
Yeah.
And my generation had the great luck of having to do conscription. Listen to this. And this applied to a lot of the great American players on records in the 50s. Most of the bass players played sousaphone in a marching band in the Army or the Air Force, or came from Glenn Miller and through the big band thing, and knew about improvisation and swing music, and straight away could be telephoned to ask to go to a studio and come up with something like doom, 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 doom. Anybody could do that, but you've got to have seen the world and have a rapport going with other musicians to be able to go doom, 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 doom without feeling an idiot. I mean, it's difficult to explain.
Yeah, of course.
There's nothing clever about being a session musician. In fact, I'm not a session musician. I'm a freelance professional musician.
Yeah.
And that includes doing quite a few charity things, a bit of educational work, a little bit of practice, and trying to find things that are a bit more important than being a musician whizzing around the world playing on Jeff Wayne's War of the Worlds months at a time, or going abroad for 3 or 4 months in the early days with David Bowie to play for him. It's not the greatest kind of life. If you're a married family man, music's not that important as far as I'm concerned. Music was my job.
And I imagine not getting paid that much as well.
I don't know. I've never.
You did
thought
all right.
about that. I haven't got any savings, if that's what you're on about.
But considering you played on many multi-million selling records, you know, you did all right. You're happy with what you got.
Yes, of course. Beautiful. I mean, I'm only a paid executant, Ian. You know, like you are. You get paid to rabbit on the radio.
Yeah.
You get a wage, and in my time there was a union rate, say, during the Harry Nilsson era, of £12 for a 3-hour session. And in that 3 hours, there was an agreement with the union and the record company that they could record up to 20 minutes music. Now, if you came up, like on the Harry Nilsson sessions, in 3 days we came up with Jump Into the Fire, which is a masterpiece, and The Coconut and some other tracks on Nilsson Schmilsson, then you get paid a wage because they booked you to go there and play the bass. And if they don't give you a part, they expect you to make it up, and you do. It's like being a bus driver.
Did you ever get... did you ever walk into a studio and get intimidated? I'm thinking, because I know you played bass for Paul McCartney.
Yeah, a little bit.
One of the greatest perhaps the greatest bass player of all time. Was that intimidating?
Well, Paul isn't one of the greatest bass players of all time. Otherwise, he wouldn't have phoned me up to go and put bass on The Long and Winding Road, or Thank You Very Much, which was a song that his brother...
The Scaffold, wasn't it? Yeah.
Came up with. Paul booked me because he was the producer, and he didn't want to sit in the studio going, like, thank you very much, buddy. That's what I got to do. No, it's not intimidating. It can't be, because if you're intimidated, it means your arm goes stiff.
Yeah.
And you get a bit hot round the collar, and you're going to speed up, and you're not going to fit socially. I mean, the idea of rolling up at say 9:30 in a recording studio and be thrown a load of music, it's what orchestral players have to do all the time, and some of the stuff they have to play, if you look at the paper, it's just millions of dots which look like little tadpoles, and your experience, you get to play it. I mean, I played in the pit of things like Hello Dolly, doubling not just double bass, but tuba as well. I had the luck of that particular era of learning because we had to, or didn't have to, but I was a bandsman, and if I learnt to play the double bass as well as the tuba, I got an extra 3 shillings a week. But also it opened the door while I was out in the Far East to playing in a swing band.
Yeah.
And I happened to, having seen lots of jazz bands, found that swing music and jazz and international music is in my heart, and I just love it. I can't believe my good fortune that I'm still... I'm 117 now, I think. No, not. I'm nearly 80, and I'm still getting people phoning me up to go and do gigs.
You're still playing, aren't you? You're
all the time.
Still busy.
I do a monthly Brighton jazz breakfast at the Dome every month, but we have a couple of little bands called, one's the All Stars and another one called Us, which is a very tight Latin-based band that Big Jim Sullivan, God rest his soul, started up. And my girlfriend lives in Finland, and she's a cellist in an orchestra over there. So I go over to Finland, and the city Joensuu is 30 miles from the Russian border, and I get to do a bit of lecturing there and a bit of playing, and I'm in a little jazz trio there called Two Grandfathers and a Russian. The Russian is actually from Azerbaijan, and he's crazy. What a wonderful player. And the other one is the Concertmeister. That means lead violin, right?
Yeah.
And we play what is a kind of jazz, but it's very Nordic, and it starts going a bit all over the shop.
Yeah.
But I like the journey that takes us on. The pianist, Kemal, because he's the professor of piano studies at the Sibelius Academy, he doesn't get to play jazz or swing music very much. And the first gig we did, it was all over the shop, but I discovered that if I tilted my double bass so that just the top of it, the what's called the shoulder, was actually touching his back, the vibration of me going dum 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 would actually be going in his shoulder.
How funny!
And it was great. He suddenly
he locked in.
He had to lock in because it's better than stamping your foot. But we used to, we do go and do little gigs in the Sontilla. That's they don't have pubs there. They have lovely, they're like hotels with a restaurant and drinks. I don't drink myself. I'm totally teetotal, right? But I think a litre of wallop there costs about 26 euros. But it keeps people tidy and it keeps them sober. And when they drive in Finland, listen to this.
Yeah, go on.
If you speed, you get fined 10% of your annual salary.
Flipping heck.
Yes.
I'd have been stung a lot last year. I had a bad one for stuff like that. Oh, blimey, that's incredible.
Well, it works. They have laws and people stick to it. In this country, we don't have laws. We have governments that invent things like referendums. We've only had 3, and I'm sorry, I'm really cheesed off about everything that lot, who I never see in nightclubs or theatres or jazz clubs, what they're doing to us. We're running into trouble.
Oh, listen.
I tell you, let me have a go. You're interviewing me, right?
Oh, shut up, Herbie. I'm loving this.
I do some stuff in Finland, and we got some funding, and it was to do something with a poet and a dancer and a jazz group, and the funding was coming from the European Union to the Finnish university. But because of Britain leaving the European Union, they've pulled the funding already, and this is only weeks after.
I've heard a few kind of artistic endeavours having that happen quite quickly.
Yeah, absolutely. And Ian, it really scares me. I'm having travelled the world. I don't feel very English. I feel very international.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, the woman I love is Welsh.
Well, hang on a minute. Welsh is not. It's not that Welsh, isn't that international?
My son's going off to I forget where on a camping holiday. Yeah.
Can I listen? I'm going to play a bass line that you. I don't know. Well, maybe you get sick of hearing this. I don't know. But let me play this. Hang on a second. This is. Here we go.
From Miami.
Now, one of the few songs we're allowed to play on the radio where it's got the line about giving head. They still
No, you're not allowed to play it anymore.
Oh, yeah, have they banned it now?
No, do you know why?
Go on.
Listen to this, because of the line that the supposedly three girls called Thunder Thighs. Maybe it wasn't three girls. Maybe it was three fellas and the tape had been sped up or down. I don't know. I mean, I'm very secretive about how things are done. But
yes.
The record is banned because of a line that Lou says, which is, and the coloured girls go do-do-do-do.
Oh!
So, you see, I've said
Because of the coloured, the word coloured.
Never mind the fact that Johnny Walker, bless his heart, 35 years ago, got it played as his record of the week.
Yeah.
And nobody at the Beeb, whether they were, whoever they were, perhaps they were down the pub when they should have been picking the playlist or something, but it slipped under the net because there are a couple of spurious lines in it that nobody knew what it meant. And so what, you know? It's a great song.
Oh, it's one of the classics.
The bass playing on it, there are two basses. It's me putting the double bass down first and then overdubbing an electric bass an octave and a bit higher, sort of sliding up, and the double bass is sliding down, and it had quite an attractive original sound, but you could only do that on one record.
Yeah, of course. And, when you went into the session for that, was that laid out, or did they say, Herbie, what can you give us for this? Or did
Lou, Mick Ronson said, well, it's a bar of C. Did it? That's what he did. And then it's a bar of F. Did it? So I have to go C, F, C. And then when we listened to the playback, I asked if I could go and put an E, and then an A, and then an E on an electric bass. So you've got a double bass down low and an electric bass a bit higher. And it was just quite a lucky sort of bit of chemistry. You have to come up with the goods, Ian. As we said, they're looking for going, oh, that's good. And, of course, there are a lot of bass players who afterwards said, now you've done that, every time they play that particular interval on a gig, people shout out, get off! or start going, yeah, I mean, it's mischief, really. I'm a bit of a prankster. You know?
Did you feel when you mentioned the bands that you're in earlier before kind of the session work, and I know that bands carried on, but were you ever disappointed that you weren't having the success? You know, you weren't as big as Lou Reed, you weren't as big as T-Rex that I know you played with for a little bit, that you were kind of in the background a bit, or were you very happy with that?
That's where I want to be. I'm in the background. I live in Ditchling, a little village, and I live in a little house in the high street, and I have no aspirations to do anything but just do that. I mean, I've got a silly name, and when we do gigs in the village hall, we stick a poster up in the post office that says, Herbie Flowers and Michael Hinton, he's a mate of mine who lives down the road, proudly present the All-Stars, and we do a gig in the village hall. Or we do Herbie Flowers Jazz Breakfast. The name gets me a little bit of work, and being an ardent Fabian lefty, it creates a bit of work as well.
Yeah.
You know, when we do the Brighton Corn Exchange Jazz Breakfast, I get 800 quid, and that's because we get 400 or 500 people coming, but we only charge 7 quid.
Yeah.
And £1.50 of that goes as VAT. And the Dome make their little bit of profit, but we've created work, and if we have 6 musicians, we have to share that 800 quid out and go home with £120 each. Or if there are 4 of us, I manage to, we go home with 200 quid each. It's not a lot of money,
no.
But as far as I'm concerned, it's work. And there are lots of people that expect me to go out and work for nothing, like the Ditchling Museum. They're having a summer party, and they expect Michael Hinton and I to go and play for 3 hours, which we love doing because they're all our local friends. And we play on the terrace. 2 old geezers playing standards like I Got You Under My Skin and, Laura, all that kind of stuff. We call ourselves the Charmers. But what we get instead of money is all the lemonade I can drink.
Beautiful. And,
well, it is. And a lifetime membership as a friend of Ditchling Museum. I'm really proud of that.
Yeah.
I'm putting it all down and being light-hearted, really.
No,
I mean,
it sounds great. In the 70s, when you were kind of, at your busiest, was it in the morning you'd be doing, I don't know, Ringo Starr, then at lunchtime you've got Nielsen, then in the afternoon you got Bowie. Was it as busy as that?
Oh, absolutely. But 90% of the time, it was either film scores. Like, let me think of one. The Italian Job.
Yeah.
Or Americans used to come over, like Henry Mancini used to come over and record all the Pink Panther music.
Did you do the bass for the Pink Panther?
Yeah, because the reason being is that in England, I'll say England, in London and in Britain, there was no residual had to be paid by the film company.
It was a one-off fee.
Yeah, it was quite right. But then it worked out that there was a scheme that was developed a bit by the Musicians Union and whoever else, saying that they started up a thing called PPL, it's sort of a performing, I forget, something, and it meant that we were entitled to a 0.001% of the sales of records.
Yeah.
Providing you can prove you played on it. Well, I can't prove that I played on various things unless my name is on the record label.
Yeah.
And with the advent of the CD, they left a lot of the names off. And when you watch a film, at the end, it's got, like, producer, director, it's got all the van drivers' names, best boy, makeup artist, and composer Henry Mancini, and maybe the London Symphony Orchestra, but never the drummer or the set. So you can't prove it. And this money is lying in a fund somewhere that it might be good if the record companies said, oh, well, we can actually dig out all our old accounts and look to see who played on it. But the John Major government said, oh, no need to go back and do that. Just go back as far as 1993 instead of back to 1947,
Incredible, yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. All this hundreds of millions of pounds that should have gone to that to help sustain culture. And this is where my political bit comes out. And what Corbyn said, and I listened to it on television, is that live music and music education and the arts in general are fizzling out in schools, and we're sinking under a wave of mediocrity. And I totally, completely agree with that. The fact that even the money that it costs to go and watch a football match, because the performers are getting... I mean, Wayne Rooney earns more in an hour and a half than I earn in 20 years.
Oh, Herbie, I've got 2 little boys, 6 and 4, and, if we've got a day off or at the weekend, we'll go to the Science Museum, the V&A, we'll go to a museum. They're talking about you're going to have to start charging to go into museums soon.
Well, in Brighton, someone burnt the West Pier down, which was beautiful. I remember being a film extra on that, for a film called Oh, What a Lovely War. But when it burnt down, they've now replaced it with it's like it looks like a flagpole with a big donut that goes up and down. But
I've seen that. That's weird.
It's 15 quid to go up in this thing.
Yeah.
And the council's got the liberty to say, well, it's a vertical pier. I've never heard such
vertical. Oh, come on, vertical pier. That's someone.
Yeah. Why didn't they rebuild the pier? Why didn't they rebuild the Twin Towers? Why don't they actually, like Frank Gehry, the wonderful American architect? He had a massive design for the whole seafront at Hove. You know, he designed the Bilbao, all these fancy, crooked-looking buildings.
Yeah.
Art galleries and so on, and the Hove Council turned it down, saying, "Oh, it's a bit too advanced, and it'll stop the sea view of the blocks of flats all the way along." You know, I can't believe that they're not making places more beautiful. They think that building that thing in Brighton and charging people 15 quid is the way to go about it. They're saying, "Well, it holds 200, and it will make so many millions of pounds."
Good for them, yeah.
For them, and no, it won't for anyone. You know, like, why do people have to pay for their culture? I mean, good on Nicholas Sirota and the wonderful Tate Modern. We go out there as often as we can because it's free.
Yeah, as it should be. And people say, "Well, why should it be free?" Because when things are miserable and dark and people are skint, we need kind of art, whatever it is, whether it's music or statues or paintings or someone piling a load of oranges up in a funny thing.
Yeah,
you need it.
Anybody who earned over £1 million a year wouldn't mind paying at least 75p in the pound after that, just to go back into the infrastructure so that these rich people can be living in a country that everybody, like you've got decent railways, you've got better roads. Now, in the past year, I've had 3 near misses on the railway because I have a touch of glaucoma, so I got to watch my step. And the train doors trapped me at Victoria Station, and my wife had to pull me in, and a bloke was trying to pull me out because they're not going to have a guard anymore, or what they call a ticket collector or something.
Yeah.
What's going on?
Herbie, listen, I could talk to you all night, mate, and thank you so much.
Why can't we go on all night? Have they given you a 20-minute? You've got other guests. I know you.
I've got no other guests.
Talk too much. And you've probably got the sack.
No. Oh, listen, don't you worry about that. You've had 35 minutes, Herbie.
No, I haven't. Liar.
It's 25 to 11, mate.
Tell you what, you're brilliant, Ian. You know, I don't do many interviews, but
you almost didn't do mine because I messed up the date twice.
Oh no, that's all right. Don't we all, Ducky?
I was doing it instead of my producer. Catherine's very organised, and I was doing it. I just kept mixing up when I was on holiday and stuff.
Oh yes, I mean you've gone down in my estimation. But if you phone me up again, it's been an honour to talk to you, and you're brilliant at your job. Yeah,
well, mate, coming from you, that is absolute high praise indeed.
And bless your heart, and all of broadcasters. I mean, gosh, I love it. I love AM in the morning.
Yeah,
and I do a bit of the breakfast television, and beyond that, I like to see Usain Bolt win the.
All right, listen. It turns out we can't shut you up, so I'm going to ask you another question.
Yeah.
You wrote "Grandad" for Clive Dunn.
Yeah.
I grew up on that song. That's a great song. How did you come up with that?
My doorbell went ding dong. I met Clive in a fish and chip shop, right? And he said he had a recording session for Abbey Road Studios for EMI, and it was on the Sunday. And I said, I think I'm being booked for the session. He said, well, I've only got one song called I Play the Spoons, you know. He picked up these teaspoons in the fish and chip shop.
Yeah.
And he said, if you can write a song, we'll do it. So it was really the first song I'd ever written, and I got my daughter's grade 3 book on piano and composition, and it said, pick a nice rhythm like a waltz, boom, da, da, boom. Have a descending bass line, and then whatever kids in, have the melody bouncing around, and I did all this, and I got stuck, and I telephoned Ken Pickett and said, fancy coming round if you can come up with a hook. We might have a recording for Clive Dunn, and he rang my doorbell, a Friedland door chime that went ding dong, ding dong, and that's the hook. So one day, Friedland are going to sue me. I know they are. But I gave away all the copyright to it, so it's not me that will copy it.
Herbie, listen, man, thank you so much for talking. Thank you so much for all the excellent work that you've done, and, long may it continue. You can come back on any time you want, fella. Thank you, Herbie.
Thank you so much, Ian, and
pleasure.
Bless you all. Thank you.
Mate. Thank you very much indeed. Herbie Flowers. HerbieFlowers.com if you want to go and have a little look. His website. He's played on everything. Just want to say goodbye to him for us, Kath, and just make sure he was okay with that. I didn't know he played on the Pink Panther. I didn't know that. What a delightful, delightful guest. This week, I know we've missed 2 ad breaks. We'll fit all the ads in. Don't worry about that. Indulge me for a second, right? This week has been. Wasn't he a gentleman? This week has been musical heaven for me. Stephen Page in here yesterday on my guitar, giving me and Kath a private concert. And Herbie Flowers saying he's a big fan of mine. Ladies and gentlemen, he played on the Pink Panther. I did not know that. He doesn't even mention that on the front page of his website. The front page of his website, it's got all the stuff he's played on. McCartney, David Bowie, Scaffold, all of this stuff. T-Rex. I would have number 1. I'm the bass player on the Pink Panther theme. You know the dun-dun-dun-dun. That's me. I'd have that. Oh, well, thank you, Herbie. What an absolute gentleman. And thank you, dear listener, for paying attention. 0844 499 1000. Keith and Caddick coming up after this. Busy show tonight. We were going to bump the next guest because Herbie Flowers was so good. And I kind of made a decision to bump the next guest so we could talk to Herbie a bit longer. But the next guest has, got a little bit upset when we said that we were going to perhaps do him later on in the month. So we'll squeeze in as much as we can. It's computer and gadget expert. It's Stephen Murdoch. Good evening, Stephen.
Good evening. I know you're pulling my leg. I know you're pulling my leg there, Ian.
Sorry, we're going to have to try and rattle through this as quickly as we can, Stephen, because I don't know if you heard, we had Herbie Flowers on just then.
I did. It was very interesting. We did actually have this date sort of set aside in the diary for me to speak tonight. So.
It was as well. Yes, I did say that we, if we get a more interesting guest, we will stick with that. And it was kind of a pencil.
It wasn't quite a pencil. I think it was a heavy pencil.
It was a heavy pencil, but you can still erase that.
We're actually wasting time now, Ian, if we could get on with it.
Okay, well, if you we'll get on with it. Stephen, you, remind me what company you work for now.
I'm working for Kilkenny's in Hammersmith. I left ISO Solutions after I was unfairly let go of. That's another story. I don't want to get into that now. That's for another time.
I believe that's an impending court case, so legally we can't talk about it.
I'm not at liberty to say. All I will say is that it was not quite as reported in the press, or indeed on your show. But where you get your information is your own business.
Well, I got it from the head of ISO Solutions. Well, but now we are wasting time dealing with the and it is coming up to a court case, so probably best that we move away from it. I don't want to see that, mate. I don't want it to cost you any more money than it's already cost you, and by you saying you were unfairly dismissed when actually it was because of your prison sentence for stalking.
No. Listen, it was absolutely clear. Now I don't care. You know exactly the situation. There was a court case. I was supposed to. I don't want to get into it now.
I think it's best that we back away from it.
Don't speak to James. Speak to me. If you want to speak to James at ISO Solutions, that's your prerogative. But if you get me on the phone, you speak to me, all right?
Okay, now you've mentioned his name, he's going to email in probably during this, so thanks a lot for that, Stephen.
Okay.
Cyberbullying, Stephen. Right. If anyone's got any questions about computers, internet, or cyberbullying, 0844 499 1000. Cyberbullying, Stephen. We read about it a lot. What exactly is it, and why are you so interested in it?
Well, it's simply it's defined by any physical means by which somebody is bullied. What we're aiming to do at Kilkenny's in Hammersmith is we've got our own unique app which can censor certain words. Of course, there are many programs out there that will filter profanities, bullying words, so that you or your children can operate without bad words. Cuss off, Safari extension, Goob, Kid Mode by Zoodles, and introducing our very own Bullproof.
What was that? Bullproof?
Bullproof.
Bullproof. Bullproof.
Bullproof.
Bullproof.
Bullproof. Yeah, bull is a bully-proof. Bullproof.
Why is it not called bully-proof?
But we're really wasting time, you know. It's called Bullproof.
Bullproof.
That's what the app is called.
Ballproof.
Bull. A bull in a china shop. Bullproof.
But bulls aren't famous for their bullying, are they?
No, it's an abbreviation of the word bully. When really, Ian, I don't know why you're wasting so much time.
So how does a bullproof work?
What that app does, it acts like a filter. You know, of course.
So it filters out certain words. Is that correct?
Yes.
So, for example,
well,
if I was,
oh God, if I might. Right, okay.
I've just dumped that, so the listener at home hasn't heard it, but I uttered expletives at you, Stephen.
Yes, I know you did. That was sort of unnecessary. Yes, those words. I mean, for someone like me who's into computers, of course, over the years I've been called all sorts of things, geek, nerd, no mates, Mr. Lonely, virgin till 30, and all the rest of it. Murdoch, and Murdoch. Words like smelly, ugly, four eyes, ginger nuts, bum nose, poo smell, wee pants, bouncy noncy, etc. The list goes on.
How much longer does the list go on for?
Well, that's my point. If you let me speak.
Stinky balls, four eyes.
Yes.
Gadget bummer.
Cheese, nibbler, pencil neck.
You got your knob stuck in a VHS.
Charlene Stalker, Charlene this stalker, just stalker, material level, chainsaw, massacre.
Your mum's the robot off Buck Rogers that used to go biddy biddy biddy.
Yes, that's it. Murdoch the Murdoch, or Murdoch, rubbish bike user.
I was interested in one in particular.
What? The Virgin one, yes. Hello? Virgin till 36. Hello?
Where does that come from?
I don't know. That's not the issue. The issue is that these words are very hurtful. Scrote nose, bum chin, anus face. You know, it goes on and on and on. And all we do at Kilkenny is we're going to stop those words going through. And our list is far more extensive than those words that can be filtered in other apps. Mum who looks like a mom, funny mouth, big eyes. The list goes on. Small one, tiddler, teeny, weeny, cocktail sausage. Very, very hurtful names. And what we aim to do is to cut those right out.
How does it work?
Oh, goodness me. Well, I don't really have that information now without talking all night. But all it does, it picks up certain combinations of letters, certain sentences that we have predetermined in the computer software, and it blocks them out.
And blocks them from what? From Twitter? From Facebook?
From all those social media sites and emails. We're working on one which works on text messages, SMSs as well.
Right. But there is a way around it, of course.
There is. I don't want you to announce it now.
Well, but if I were to say I were to call you, give me one of those again.
Hairy Mole Steve No Mates, Fat Back, Bum Chin, Chihuahua Nose.
Let's do Bum Chin.
Bum Chin, okay, right.
If I were to just put a space between the letters, would that be filtered out? So it's B space U space M space C space H space I space N. And if you looked from a distance, it would look like Bum Chin. Would that be filtered out?
Yes, but I think, you know, we try to accommodate those. I mean, for example, what we've got here, Hairy Mole Stephen, right? You could have an H and then a gap, A-I-R-Y, gap, M-O-L-E. So it doesn't have to be Stephen. I just...
Well, let's stick with him. So that would get through, would it? Just by putting one space in a word?
No, not all of them. No, not all of them by any means. That's why I'm saying our list is very extensive, and we made all sorts of accommodations for gaps between letters and between words.
What impact does cyberbullying have on people? It's never happened to me.
It can make you... Well, it makes you lonely. It makes you sad. It can alienate you from your friends and from your family. You might have to join an agency or ask your friends if you want to go out for the evening and just say, please, I need to get out. One person calls you scrote nose. It can, of course, they're anonymous. They can do it from behind the computer.
We're getting some suggestions. We're getting some suggestions on Periscope. Pobble is saying chinny bum bum, chinny bum bum.
Chinny bum bum is actually in our quota. We've got that in chinny bum bum.
That will be on there. We're getting some
and
more.
That's twice, is it? Chinny bum bum twice.
Chinny bum bum, chinny bum bum.
Okay,
yep.
Got that down, yes.
Lourdis is saying, very simply, tosser. Oh no, Stephen is a tosser.
Right, okay, well...
Meat saddlebag, pie face.
Meat saddlebag is in.
Willy nose, bum chin...
Willy nose is
Simon Clancy is suggesting Robocock. That's an excellent one.
Well, Clancy, he's contributed a lot to our research. I don't know whether he's been...
Bum rotter. Bum rotter
is in. Bum rotter is in, yeah.
That's from Alexa. Diana is saying flappy face.
Flappy face, no, I don't think that's that offensive. If you have a flappy face, well, I don't think it's that offensive. I don't think.
Bum sniffer says.
Bum sniffer is in, and that's very hurtful. Yeah.
Flapper, thunder hunt, fanny wangler.
Fanny wangler, no, I will. Let me just add that. Now.
Charlene botherer.
Yeah, I don't want to get into the old Charlene thing anymore. That's done.
How much does the app cost, Stephen? Where do we get it?
Oh, dangle sack. Sorry?
How much does the app cost? Where do we get it? And
$14.99.
Sorry?
$14.99
for an app.
But that will cover. That will cover all your social media.
That's
all your electronic communication.
An excellent price, and if it can be a terrible blight on people's lives. So we're still getting Gooch Guzzler. We're still getting people. If you can just stop.
Gooch Guzzler's a little bit silly, though.
If you could just.
I do have a subsection of Gooch, and Guzzler is certainly not in it. But
a lot of these I can't actually read out. I mean, I don't even know what penguin vagina means, but.
No, that's unspecific. That will come under unspecific.
Stephen, we have got some calls for you. I'm guessing they're calling in about cyberbullying. Let's go to Alan Caddick. Good evening, Alan.
Hip, hip, hip.
Hip, 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 Alan. You're through to Stephen Murdoch.
No, I don't want to talk to Stephen Murdoch. I want to talk about something completely different.
Oh, great. No disrespect, Alan. I seem to remember this mix-up last time you were on. Have you got something to ask about?
No, the first time I spoke to you.
No, I believe you phoned last time.
No, never.
Well, whatever. What do you want to talk about? Is it a question about computing? Is it about cyberbullying? Is it about apps? What's the issue?
No, I don't think you know what you're talking about. I think you're a stalker with Bob and Charlie when she was in Neighbours.
What? Charlene Spiteri was never in Neighbours.
Alan, what are you talking about? Charlene Spiteri was in Texas.
No, I'm talking about Kylie
Minogue. Who wants to speak about cyberbullying or computing problems?
Alan, do you have a question for Stephen? Because I've got a full switchboard.
What's the question?
On Facebook, have you got on my page Iain on Talk Radio? Because I think you'd be a valuable asset to it.
Oh, Alan, stop wasting our time.
Are you drunk?
He's got a joystick in his mouth, it sounds like. Let's go to Simon's on the line. Good evening, Simon. You're through to Stephen Murdoch.
Hi, Iain. Hi, Stephen.
Hello, Simon.
I've got a bit of a problem with my laptop.
You know what, sorry?
I've got a problem with my laptop. I'm Scottish,
yes.
Did you not understand the accent?
Sorry, I didn't hear you. Something about a laptop, yes.
Yeah, so I like to take my laptop to bed at night to watch it privately, yes. And there's a problem with my dongle.
For God's sake.
Simon, can you just spit it out, please, mate? Because you got a problem with your dongle.
I've got a problem with my dongle.
If I can't guess.
Well, I've sometimes got to push it into a slot, and sometimes
That's absolutely.
I have to keep pushing it into the slot.
Right, that's enough. Just the sort of bully I'm talking about.
Simon, we're not having any of that, mate. Simon,
absolutely ridiculous.
Not having that. Let's try Dan. Dan, you're through
Every time I come on this show, I get a similar.
Stephen has come on. He's not getting paid for this to promote his $14.99 anti-bullying cyberbullying app. Just try and be sensible.
Ballproof.
Dan, you're ballproof. Dan, you're through to Stephen Murdoch from Kilkenny Solutions in Hammersmith.
Good evening, Dan.
Hi, Stephen. I think we've encountered each other before. I don't know if you recall, you sold me a laptop on eBay last month.
Possibly through a private sale, wasn't it?
Well, it started off on eBay, but you did assure me that you said, you've got this reputation, you're on talk radio, you're a minor celebrity.
Right.
You said we should be able to take it off eBay, you'd be able to opt out of the seller fees, I'd get a little bit of a discount as well.
No, that's not true. It wasn't like that at all.
Now listen to me, Murdoch. You delivered me. It was not what I ordered. I ordered an Apple Mac. What did you send me?
A Mac. With a belt.
It was a Mac, yes. And you'd wrapped some bricks in it to weigh down the box.
That was a joke. If you don't like a joke,
Dan, have you got a question for Stephen or not?
An actual question.
Yeah, I mean, I have got a question for him. Where does he get off on this? He insulted.
Not having that.
I'm not having this.
No,
I'm not having this.
Sorry, Stephen, that was out of order.
God's sake.
Stephen, we're coming up to the news.
Right.
I've got two more calls for you. Can I persuade you to stay around for a bit longer? I'm going to go and speak.
Sensible.
I'm going to speak.
Sensible.
I'm going to speak to the calls off air just to make sure that they've got valid points to make. And if you've got any questions about cyberbullying or anything to do with tech and gadgets, 0844 499 1000. It's Stephen Murdoch from Kilkenny Solutions, based in Hammersmith. I'm Iain Lee. This is Talk Radio.
Talk Radio.
Got a problem with your dongle? Something wrong with your hard drive? Then Stephen Murdoch, you're the man to deal with it. Is that right?
Yes, sir.
Anything else you want to say? That'd be rehearsed. As we rehearsed.
Yes, sir. I've got.
We haven't got time. We haven't got time. That was a complete disaster.
Late night, Iain Lee on Talk Radio.
We have ways of making you talk.
I didn't know that Herbie Flowers played on this. Did you know that, Stephen?
No, I didn't. I took the trouble to look him up on Wiki. He's certainly played with all sorts of people. Fascinating guess.
Did you ever play the Pink Panther video game on the Spectrum?
Many years ago.
Steve, are you okay?
Yeah, fine.
Just you told me you told me to say if you were doing that thing again, and you were just doing it then.
Oh, sorry.
That's okay. No. Just I know you've got issues, and that's fine. It's all good. 0844 499 1000. Stephen Murdoch from Kilkenny Solutions, based in Hammersmith in London, is here to talk about cyberbullying and also to take your calls on anything computer and gadget related. We had a flurry of calls during the news, Stephen. Unfortunately, most of them. Nah.
We're playing silly beggars.
Yeah, they were. I don't know what's going on tonight. I know there was the premiere of the David Brent film tonight, which I went and saw. And maybe that's just... Some people went to that and they're feeling a little bit let down, so they're trying to let off steam.
A bit giddy.
Yeah, a little bit giddy. A lot of laughs in the first 15 minutes of that film. So, and then a lot of thinking for the last 80 minutes of the film. So,
with all due respect, this is not getting us to the cheese, so to speak. I wonder if anyone has some questions about computing. I'm not being rude.
We do have one caller.
Right. Okay. Who's that?
It's Gatford. Gatford, you're through to Stephen Murdoch, formerly of ISO Solutions, now of Kilkenny Solutions in Hammersmith.
Hello there.
Good evening. Hi there, Stephen. I've been a victim of cyberbullying pretty much my whole sort of adult life. AOL chat rooms, MySpace, Bebo, Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, Instagram, Snapchat, all the different platforms.
The main ones, right?
Yeah, the main ones.
Ask.
I've even taken to. Yeah, I'm getting to it. Ian, calm down.
No, I mean Ask the social media site Ask.
Oh yeah, thanks. Yeah, good point. Yeah. No, I've not actually got.
You should join it. You might get bullied on there, but you should.
What sort of things are they saying?
Well, they're being very particular. They're being very cruel. Some of the names that you mentioned earlier have been used.
Fatford.
Yeah, that one. Yeah, that one.
Wee pants.
Yeah.
I
wear glasses and I can't hear out of one ear. And I'm quite big and
deafened.
Yeah, that sort of thing.
Oh God!
And how does that make you feel inside as a person?
It's made me feel hollow inside, and I've often contemplated giving up the internet, but I can't.
No,
because it's the internet. You can't live without.
Would you be interested in downloading ballware? Ballproof.
Well, I'm interested. I've actually been seeing a cyber psychologist as well, but all she wants to do is talk about my relationship with my motherboard, so that's not really helped.
Oh.
Yeah. No.
He's brought his own material. Do
you have a question, Gaffer? Do you actually have a question? Or is it just...
I do have a question. If I buy your program, was it Fat Face or something? Or
Ballproof, yeah.
Ballproof. If I still receive cyberbullying, is there any refund process? Because I need something that's going to protect me across the board.
Well, I don't think we can. I don't really think we can be open to any sort of refunds for. I mean, I can't legislate for exactly what goes on in your life. All I can suggest is that if it doesn't work for you, get back to us and we can see if we can make modifications, because this is an ongoing process with us. We're adding.
I'm getting the beta thing really sort of.
And the thing is, as well, Gatford, you know, the only way to avoid cyberbullying is to stay off. Is to stay offline.
Cakes.
No.
Oh, sorry.
Gosh, is to
wow.
That would reduce one aspect of it, but
you
say from someone that professionally
yes
is helping people, and previously, let's face it, a convicted criminal, to say that I need to lay off the cakes is a bit much.
Well, it was a joke.
But
he's got. Hang on, Gatford. Hang on.
Whoa.
He's got your best interests at heart. Yes, we know you're a big lad. That's great. Okay. You're putting strain on your organs. And that would. And I was about to.
I don't play the organ, Ian. This is ridiculous.
I was about to point out that even if you lost weight, there are still many, many aspects of your character that would be easy to attack you with. So is staying offline an option, Stephen?
It is an option, but let's face it, we all live by the internet now. It's an intrinsic part of our lives. I would like to apologise to Gatford. That was a low blow. It was meant to be a joke. You came in with a joke of your own, which was an anti-computer joke about motherboards. I was simply coming back at you.
It's
right. Well, fair enough.
I was simply coming back at you. I'm sorry, but feeling hollow is something you mustn't feel all that often, I'd imagine.
Well, all I can say, Murdoch, is come back at this.
Oh, I think he's showing you I've cut him off there. We're not.
Yeah, well, our app doesn't really legislate for.
And that's interesting, isn't it? I could send someone a photograph of me making a rude gesture, the single finger, the double finger, the sign for shaking
Canadian fruit bowl,
coffee beans. A kebab.
The kebab.
And you're a hot dog. A mouldy hot dog with
one of those, when they do it, they do it when they push it in between. It looks like a donut with sort of sausage in between. You could have done that as well.
Would your app stop?
Drop your cheeks open with a pencil, that sort of thing. Yeah, that would be something you could do. We don't have can't legislate for that sort of thing.
Lee's in Cranbrook in Kent. Where's Kent, Lee?
Kent, yeah, it's the Garden of England, Ian, you know that.
Never heard of it. Okay, Lee, you're through to Stephen Murdoch. What have you got for him?
Now, Stephen, I followed some instructions on the internet to add water cooling to my PC. Okay, and I think I've got a bit of a problem because loads of sparks come out. The water poured out all the little holes where the fans are at the back, and I'm hoping you can tell me how to put it back together.
Can you just tell me that again? What happened?
So I tried to water cool my PC. You know, all these tech people, they water cool their computers. So I opened up the top, I poured in the water as per the instructions I found on the internet, and, well, you can imagine it's not working too well now.
Right, okay. Can I just say something? This is the second or third time I've been on this programme, and I've done my bit. I'm not getting paid for tonight. So far, I've had this water cooling nonsense. I've had someone saying he wants to put his floppy in a slot. I've had a big fat bloke having a go at me, and now you.
I'm not having a go at you at all, Steve.
Yes, you are having a go at me. Water cooling. Ridiculous.
We're getting suggestions, and you might be able to let us know if this would work, Stephen. Some people are suggesting that he puts his computer in the microwave. That would work, wouldn't it?
No, it wouldn't work.
No? Oh.
Well, for goodness sake, anybody out there, don't do that.
In an oven? A conventional oven?
No! I'm going to go now. Absolutely ridiculous.
Put it in rice. If you bury it in rice.
Well, yes. That is not.
Okay. Well, Stephen, I think that went better than last time.
Narrowly.
We will put that out as a computer podcast. And
okay.
Just remind us again of the cyberbullying app and how much it costs and where we can get it from.
It's $14.99. It's bulletproof and it's available at Kilkenny Solutions, Hammersmith. Part of our bullying program, anti-bullying program, Bully for You.
You have to go to Hammersmith to get it, do you?
You can go online to Kilkenny's.
Okay.
Right, okay.
Well, Stephen, it's always a pleasure, and I hope we'll speak to you very, very soon. When's that tag coming off?
Very funny. I don't think we'll be doing this again. Thank you. Good night.
Good night. Always ends a little bit awkwardly, doesn't it? Always leaves me a little bit uncomfortable. Stephen Murdoch there from Kilkenny Solutions in Hammersmith. 0844 499 1000. Well, what a strange 75 minutes of radio we've had. Really? It's been very odd, which is I'm glad it has, because I only got in about 20 minutes before the show started. I've not looked through the papers. I'm not really got anything to talk about. I did go and see the David Brent movie. Puts me in a really awkward position, guys. I went and took my mate Scott, the t-shirt printer, balconyshirts.co.uk, and we went, and it was a proper movie premiere in Leicester Square, at the Odeon in Leicester Square. And I thought it would just be like a red carpet outside the cinema. It wasn't. The whole of Leicester Square was closed, and there were thousands of people there. And you had to walk through this gate and round this red carpet, and then you had to go over a bridge. They had a bridge in Leicester Square that we had to go over. It was the weirdest thing. We didn't get siphoned off into the famous bit that would get interviewed live by Zayn. Was it Zane Lowe? Zane Lowe? Who was looking... Is it Zane Lowe? He looks like a Pakistani now. He really, he's got he looked very swarthy. And he had the beard and his hair. Honestly, and I'm not saying that for a cheap gag. He looked like a Pakistani gentleman. It was incredible. And we were all told that David Brent was going to perform with his band, and he did, but he performed outside while we were in the cinema and watched it on the screen. But as I saw James Buckley there, who's going to come in a couple of weeks, he said some very nice things about the show and the fact that he's got his own YouTube channel and stuff, which is excellent. Saw Cheggers, said hello to Cheggers. I went up to him and went, "Oi, Cheggers, you're a massive racist." And we had a laugh about that. He was telling me, because we got accused of being, his wife was there. We got accused of being racists on Pointless. And she went, "No, I think you're the racist, actually, Ian." It was very nice. They were telling me his accountant went to a pub quiz the night after we were accused of being racists on Pointless. And one of the questions was, who has been accused of being racist after an appearance on Pointless. Oh, me and Cheggers were pub quiz questions. Nicely. I like Cheggers. I know he gets a bad rap, but I like him. Who else did we see? That was it. I think that was it. And the first 15 minutes of the film is very, very, very funny. Very funny. It was really... 0844 499 1000. I'm really surprised that no other members of the Office cast were in the film. It could really have done with Mackenzie Crook and Martin Freeman, even if they weren't in it for that long. Even a scene with them would have really balanced out the Gervais, the Brent character, I think. And there were some really funny bits in it. I would have liked Crook and I would have liked Freeman popping up, and I would have liked it to have been directed by Merchant. Stephen Merchant wasn't involved in this, and I wonder, have those two fallen out or something? Because they were always in each other's part. Stephen Merchant, is a very funny man, and I think he should have directed it. My suggestions. I don't want to be rude about it, because, Ricky was very nice to me when I lost my job at the BBC, and he was very nice to me the other day, and he kindly invited me to go and see the premiere. The first 15 minutes are hilarious. 0844 499 1000. Russell, going to come to you in a second. First of all, though, it's Keith. Evening, Keith. Sorry to keep you waiting for so long.
That's no problem, mate.
You've been waiting for ages. Things are all right. No. Except tomorrow night after the show, I'm going to be sleeping in my car in Luton Airport because I've got a flight at 8 o'clock in the morning. I know, first world problems.
I live literally 5 minutes from there. You can sleep at my house if you like.
Keith, now listen, that sounds like a delightful offer, but for all I know, you could be a murderer. Are you a murderer?
I could be. No, I'm not, but the other guy, the computer guy, sounds a bit weird.
Yeah, I'm going to have to... I think me and Catherine are going to have a chat about how we proceed, if we proceed with Steve. He's been to prison, and I'm a real big one for giving people second chances, but I don't know if that feature works.
It's ironic that someone that's going to support an app for cyberbullying, being a stalker, a bit weird for me anyway. But.
Yeah, I know what you mean, and I just... if people are, but the thing is, he's a very intelligent man, and if people are just going to phone up and take the mic and talk about floppies,
I didn't even get.
Oh no, not you, Keith, not you. I'm talking about the callers that called in and talk about floppies and water cooling and all this stuff. Yeah. I just don't want to waste Stephen's time because he's a very intelligent man.
Yeah, my reason initially to phone him was because I feel like I'm having a nervous breakdown and. The whole thing has lifted me up, so I feel a bit better.
Hey, that'll be £75 plus VAT, please.
No, I'm all
What's going on, man?
Well, I booked tickets to go and see your show in Luton straight away because we went to see you last year with my wife, and because we have an autistic child,
yeah.
I found it hard getting a babysitter, so I fell out with my family about it, and I thought, do you know what, I'm going to phone you and say I can't come because all my family are... words I can't say, obviously, on the radio.
What, if you don't mind me asking, and tell me to jog on if you do, why have you fallen out with your family about it?
Because I asked some member of my family I'm close to, and the baby's hard. It's the same booby milk baby.
Yeah.
I don't know if you remember that, but anyways, he's hard work to be around.
Yeah.
And I said, you need to come and see him first and get to know him a little bit, because they never come around. And they took offence to that. So, anyways.
I'm sorry to hear that, man.
It's all right, but let's talk about light-hearted stuff now.
Go on then.
I can't think of anything.
Nor can I. I've just seen the David Brent film, so that doesn't... That's
not light-hearted.
Are you still going to be able to come to the show?
I don't know. My wife said just go by yourself, but I'm not going to do that, am I? Last time she gave me earache because I didn't wait for a picture. So the whole point was, as soon as they come off, right, this time we're going to wait for a picture with you.
Right. Listen. Okay. It's not until November, right? So we still got a bit of time to sort it out. Okay.
Yeah.
Still got a bit of time to sort something out. Why don't you come for the first half, then go home?
She
comes for the second half.
That sounds right.
Is it close enough for you to do that?
Possibly is, Ian. Yeah.
Well, listen, I would love you and your missus to come along if you can. And as I say to everybody, when I do these shows, I stick around for as long as people want me to stick around and have pictures taken and stuff.
Do you know the thing is, Ian, I got earache because I said, no, it's okay, he works in Dunstable, we can get a picture of whenever we like.
Yes.
And then, literally weeks later, and then ever since, I've got earache.
It don't work in Dunstable no more.
But you did.
Well, I did.
I got earache.
Did for a while, yeah. The show. Listen, here's the thing, guys. If you're coming, the show's going to be the same as the one last year, but I'm going to try and put in a few new bits and picks. I've got an idea for a show for next year, so I might put in
hilarious. It doesn't matter.
Well, it's all right. Well, you're very kind. We got listen. It's not until November, man. We got ages to sort this out.
Well, I'm sure I saw it somehow, but my other question is,
yes.
The podcast, the illegal podcast,
what
has disappeared. I've not been able to listen to you for 2 weeks.
No, they haven't. Hang on.
Well, they have on what I'm looking at.
You will. My internet's going very slowly, so it's making it just tricky. The fellow that was originally doing them doesn't do them anymore.
Right.
But now there's a new guy called Matthew that does them. Are you aware of his work?
I'm not. No, literally, I'm all out.
Oh look, and
all out my stuff.
Now my internet is not working, so I can't get you. Right, if I tell you this, right, you must never tell anybody else that I've told you, and you mustn't tell my boss that I've told you, right?
Okay.
Right. Hang on a minute. Oh, crying out loud! Why is it? Why computer? IanLeePodcast.co.uk.
Okay. Oh, lovely.
IanLeePodcasts.co.uk. Right? Don't tell anyone. Go on iTunes, type in Iain Lee, and talk, and up they come.
Okay, lovely.
Is that all right?
That's all right.
Thank you, Keith. Touchy bye.
Night.
See you later on. We feel a bit better, mate. And we'll be good to see you. Be good to see you. Tris, stay there. Let's go to Russell. Good evening, Russell. Oh, no, hang on, I've got your fader down. Let me try again, this time with your fader open. Good evening, Russell.
Good night, Ian. How are you?
Oh, good, thank you. Sorry, I had your fader down. How's things going, man? You all right?
Good. I was a bit upset about the last caller before the caller before me. Hang
on a minute, let me get a map and draw. The caller before you. Why were you upset, Russell?
Stephen, they were all taking the piss out of him.
Out of Stephen Murdoch?
Yeah. It's like no one listened to my advice. It's horrible. I mean,
well, Russell, let me let you into a little secret. I think there was a little bit of playfulness going on there. I don't think it was mean spirited. I think there was a little bit of playing going on.
People ringing in saying they can't get their dongle into the USB, and it's just. I know the man did stuff that he probably regrets.
Yes, he did. He did. Coming on the show was one of them, I think.
Yeah. But, he'll never be on again.
Russell, how are you doing? For those who don't know, who don't remember, or may not have made the connection, Russell is the DJ in Ireland. You didn't do a show today as well, did you, Russell?
I did.
Did you?
I did. Yeah.
How'd it go?
Went fantastic. I got loads of sport, and I made sure that your name was mentioned.
Good lad, thank you very much indeed. And I see you found loads of friends on Twitter and Facebook as well, haven't you?
Yeah. Oh my God, the sport's unbelievable. My life has changed within 3 days.
I'm really pleased, man. I'm really pleased. We've had a lot of nice comments about you, and a lot of people.
I'm smiling. I'm happy. I'm smiling.
We can't allow this, Russell. No, this smiling and this happiness has to stop. It's good to hear you laugh, man. It's really good to hear you laugh.
I mean, cyberbullying is real, and there's no way we could stop cyberbullying because it's a freedom of speech, and you can't stop someone from saying what they want to say.
It's how the person it is being said to learns how to deal with it. And it's hard. You know, that thing about sticks and stones might break my bones, but names will never hurt me. That's not true. That's not true. Names can be really hurtful.
Unless you throw a dictionary at someone in that case.
In that case, it's, I mean, you get one of the big old-fashioned dictionaries. Yeah, that's gonna cause a little bit of pain.
Yeah, I like to joke sometimes.
This is not the place for joking either. When are you on the radio again, Russell? Tomorrow?
I'm on tomorrow.
Yeah.
At 10.
And how long's the show? The show's 2 hours, isn't it?
2 hours.
What do you think you might play tomorrow?
Well, I don't have much surprise. I'm dreading playing S Club 7.
Oh no, I like a bit of S Club. There ain't no party like an S Club party. S Club.
They were my favourite band as a teenager.
Yeah. It was a good TV show, wasn't it, S Club 7?
I'm shameful to say that. Sorry, Led Zeppelin.
Led Zeppelin?
I'm saying sorry to Led Zeppelin that I used to like S Club Heaven. I think I grew up loving the Monkees, right? And I used to get the Mickey torn out of me for liking them. I'm not a musical snob anymore. If you like music, if it makes you happy, makes you sad, makes you angry, if it does something to you, it's all good. The thing is, the Monkees played good music that will be remembered for years.
Yeah.
S Club 7 played songs that nobody remembers.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, that's kind of true. But again, pop is meant to be thrown away. It's disposable. You know, pop is not meant to be around forever.
Unless you're Michael Jackson in that case.
Well, in that case, yeah. Russell, it's so good to hear you sounding happy, man. And I'm sorry if we were a bit short yesterday. Yesterday was all a bit frantic because we had Stephen. Hey, wasn't Stephen Page good?
Stephen Page, he's unbelievable.
And what a voice!
He followed me on Twitter.
Did he?
Yeah.
Well, there you go, man. You see, you've been followed by a genuine pop star. He's sold millions of records, that guy.
No way.
Yeah.
I opened millions of hearts.
Tell me about it. Hey, Russell, listen, I've got to go to an ad break. It's really nice to talk to you, man. I'm really glad that you found my show, and I'm glad that you call in and you're a contributor to it. So thank you.
Thank you. I'm loyal to you.
Good lad. We'll speak again soon, mate. Take care. Thank you, Russell. 0844 499 1000. We call you back. 0844 499 1000. Triss!
Hip, hip, hip.
Hip, hip, hip. Triss, not spoken for a while. How's life?
Yeah, not bad, fella, not bad. You know, ups and downs, but that's everyone. How are you, my friend?
Fat, man, really fat. I'm doing this TV show a week Saturday, right? And it's like, I just want to get under 15 stone for this show, because that will be, you know. And I was doing quite well this week, and then I put my jeans and my posh shirt on and my jacket to go to this film premiere, and the jacket, I couldn't button it properly. Couldn't button the jacket, right? And I just looked fat in the mirror. And then I got there to the film premiere, and I was very anxious. I was with Scott, and so he's looking after me, but I was very anxious and very nervous, and low self-esteem was kicking in. So I instantly bought a big bag of Rolos to have. Idiot. And then I came to work a few hours later, and basically the Rolos were all I'd eaten that day. I'd had a sandwich earlier, actually. And I was hot, I was sweating, and I was really lightheaded. So then I just had to have half a packet of digestives just to get a bit of sugar and food in me, because I was not fainty, but I was not too far off from fainting. So I'm fat, and I'm feeling really bad about that, and it's dawned on me, really, the only way I'm going to lose weight is to come off these tablets that are making me put on weight, but I don't want to come off these tablets yet. So
yeah, well, what's more important to you?
Well, yeah, exactly. So I'm just gonna have to keep an eye on my food so that I don't go any higher than I am. But I'm just gonna have to also put up with being this size for the time being, because I'd rather sleep at night and not be so anxious than half a stone lighter. So that's where we're going.
I mean, I'm still on my diet, and it's what am I now? 10, 11 days in. It's really getting me down. I'm finding it such hard work.
It's tough, isn't it? It's really tough.
It really is hard. I've got a constant headache.
Yeah.
And
water. Are you drinking enough water?
Loads of water. That's all I'm drinking now. I'm off the coffee.
Yeah. Well, how long have you been off the coffee for?
Oh, about 5 days.
That could be the headache.
I think it is.
Yeah, that could be the headache. I'm on 2 single shot soya lattes a day at the moment. And when I came off coffee last time, I didn't do the cold turkey because I'd done that before and it was awful. So I started mixing decaf with normal, and then was just going down to like a quarter of a spoon and stuff. And it'll be a coffee headache.
Yeah, I've done 4 runs now as well. It doesn't get any easier or any nicer, does it?
No, it doesn't. I did a run on Monday. 5:30 in the morning. Took my family to the airport at 5:45, got back, couldn't sleep, so I thought, right, I'm going to go for a run. And I'm going to go, meant to do one today and didn't. I was really busy, but I'm going to do one tomorrow. And I thought it's a mixture of running and walking for 25 minutes. It's week 3, day 1, right?
Yeah.
And, I thought, yeah, do you know what? I've not run for a couple of weeks, but actually I'm running really fast. I only travelled for the whole 25 minutes, walking and running, 3.187 kilometres. I was thinking, how is that possible? I was bombing it during the running bits.
It's when the app tells you that you're halfway. I find that really the most depressing part, because you feel like you must be near the end by now.
It's horrible. But, Tris, I'm going to have another go tomorrow. And I'm drinking, where's my water? Oh, I think have I got my water in the... There's my water. And, where's my cup of tea? But yeah, it's, I don't know, Tris, and the family are away, so I'm missing the kids like crazy.
I couldn't do that.
And I was planning, it's this week and next week they're away, and so much stuff I was planning to do. I want to do some writing. I want to write an article about Imani Coppola and one about, the guy from the Young Rascals, and I want to write some more of my book, right?
Oh, I read your one about John Sebastian yesterday, actually.
Oh, is that out?
Yeah, it's in Record Collector this month.
Thanks for telling me, guys. Thanks, guys. I didn't know that. Any good?
Yeah, I thought it was really good.
Thank you. I'll have to check that out. But so this week I was planning, and this week I've just been really busy, and the house is a tip. And I've been busy because I've had to sort out stuff with the dog, and I've had to sort out Bill. I've just been busy. So,
busy's good, though, isn't it?
Yeah, but I wouldn't mind just sitting down and playing Xbox for a day. I'll tell you what I started watching today, right? 20 minutes of it. 20 minutes. I had a 20-minute window before I had to leave to go to David Brent. And I bought this in Sex, the computer exchange, for £6, a box set for £6. And I thought, oh, I've never seen that, and I really fancy it. GBH.
Oh, what's that?
Robert Lindsay, Michael Palin, written by Alan Bleasdale. I'm going to say 1991. I'm kind of guessing there. TV series on Channel 4. I believe the word gritty could be used to describe it, right? And I've had it sat on by the telly for the last couple of months. And then today I thought, I'm going to put that in. I've only got 20 minutes. I'm going to make myself sit down and watch telly for 20 minutes. Yep. And, the first 20 minutes of GBH. Oh, mate. First of all, it must be about 91 because it's not shot in widescreen. You got the black bars at the side, and I like that. Yeah. Oh, mate. It was good. It was Robert Lindsay. When Robert Lindsay, we all think of Robert Lindsay from My Family, right?
Yeah.
But when he wants to act, he's tough to beat. He's a brilliant actor, and this is great, and it looks beautiful. People smoking fags, and it's basically, I think it's about corruption in a Liverpool area kind of Labour council, I think.
And Michael Palin, did you say?
Michael Palin's in it, yeah, and I like Palin.
Gritty?
Have you ever seen Brazil?
Oh yeah, cool.
Yeah, Brazil. He's the bad guy in Brazil. So yeah, Palin. I love seeing Palin act. I love it.
Who was your favourite Python?
When I was younger, it was Idol.
Yeah. I always quite fancied Idol in the dress.
Yeah,
I do a little bit.
It's the eyes. He's got really cute eyes, and I guess I always liked Idol because I liked his wordplay, and even though I didn't realise this at the time, he was the one that did it on his own. So there was John Cleese and Graham Chapman, and then Terry Jones and Michael Palin, and Idol wrote all his stuff on his own, and I think I kind of identified with that a little bit without realising. But now it's I'm not so keen on Idol. Now he's gone all American. It's Palin.
Okay. I always quite like Graham Chapman.
I always thought, apart from Life of Brian, when he's off the sauce, thank you, Ed, when he's off the sauce and he had found direction and purpose and sobriety in his life, at least for that period, apart from that, I always thought he was the weak link.
Oh, really?
I never thought he was that good an actor. And it's because for most of the Monty Python TV series and the Holy Grail, he was off his nut. He was absolutely steaming drunk. And you watch those episodes, the later episodes, he's glassy-eyed. He's not there. It's incredible.
Yeah. I don't know. He's always tickled me.
All right, here we go. Weakest Python.
Weakest Python.
Hang on 1 second. Gilliam? Let me say, sorry, your least favourite Python, because weakest and least favourite is a different thing. Your least favourite Python.
Least favourite, yeah, I'd have to say Idol, actually.
Really? Why?
Because, well, I think all he really brought was the sexy lady for my sort of sexual fascination, and the sort of young up and coming middle class type. You know, I didn't think he had much outside of that.
Yeah, I know what you mean. My least favourite Python, and here we go, guys. Here comes the hatred. John Cleese.
Oh.
I always found him too shouty. Just shouty. I know there's more to him than that. And I went... Did you go and see them at the O2 the other year?
Yeah, no, I didn't. I went to the cinema thing. You know, you could watch it on the live stream.
What was that like?
I was left really cold.
I know what you mean. I loved it because I went not thinking I was going to a comedy gig. I went knowing it was going to be a rock band doing all their greatest hits. That's what I viewed it as.
That's what it was.
Yeah, exactly. It was a rock band doing all their greatest hits, and if you wanted, you could sing along, or you could close your eyes and be back watching it on telly as a 14-year-old kid, or you know, it was a lot better than I thought it was going to be, and I really enjoyed the nostalgia and the affection from the audience.
Yeah, I mean, I've got nothing against it, but it doesn't add anything to the canon. If they didn't do it, it wouldn't. You know, it doesn't change anything for me, really.
Yeah, I think you had to be there, and we didn't even have particularly good seats, but the atmosphere was something very special and very magical. You know, there was a lot of love. It's not often you get love in an arena like that, and there was a lot of love for them. Didn't Terry Jones could hardly speak.
Oh well, he's losing his marbles, isn't he? He's got early onset dementia.
Has he? Has he really?
Yeah, he has. I watched a documentary, but like behind the scenes documentary, and he's got cue cards everywhere, and he couldn't remember half the sketches.
Oh, I did not know that. Oh, I did not know that. Well,
it's very sad.
Very sad indeed. He's got
a 30-year-old girlfriend.
I was about to say. I know. When I lived in North London, me and my wife went to our local sushi place, and the door was held open for me by Terry Jones, and I went, oh, all right. Thanks very much. And then we sat down, and he was with his daughter. That wasn't his daughter. That was his new girlfriend. Flipping heck.
Yeah, fair play to him if you can. Why not?
If you can dump your loyal wife of 50-odd years for a younger model, then why the hell not? Fair play to him. Fair play to him. Tris, did we get to the point of your call?
No, it's just a quick one. Russell, you had on before.
Yes.
He added me on Facebook today, and he sent a few of us a link to his show, and I had a little listen in for half an hour.
How'd it go? Any good?
I don't know. Yeah, really good. I don't know what he was worried about. He gave us all a shout out on the air as well. So patients must have had no clue what was going on.
Oh, good for him.
No, he's really good, and I don't know what he worries about.
I had people from all over the world, right, getting in touch with me over the last couple of days, going because an actor, Craig Bierko in America, retweeted the link saying, "Oh, this podcast is amazing, and we should listen to this." And it kind of went not viral, but it kind of caught a bit of a stream. And I had so many people, because we put the Russell bit out as a special podcast, and we ummed and ahed as to whether it would be exploitative or not. And we agreed that it's not. It's a celebration of life, you know. And it actually was really powerful what he had to say. And so many people from around the world getting in touch and saying that Russell has inspired them. You know, and it was a great bit of radio. Not because of me, you know, because of the story that we got to hear. And where am I going with this? I don't know where I'm going with this. I'm really honoured that I got to hear Russell's story. And,
I mean, basically, he's a nice fella who's sort of overcome what's happened to him, and he's living his life, and he's doing what he wants to do.
Yeah.
Fair play to him.
Tress, lovely to talk to you as per usual. Eben and Tony, come to you after this. 0844 499 1000. Eben!
Hey, Ian.
Hey, Eben, how you doing, man?
Hey, good, thanks. I was just phoning in to say a huge thank you for getting Stephen Page on last night.
Boy, oh boy, you don't have to thank me. It was an absolute thrill. We've been kind of chatting privately on Twitter on and off for a little while. And he kind of suggested to me a while ago, he sent me a tweet, right, privately, about a month ago saying, I'm coming to London in August. Do you want to go out for dinner? And I went, mustn't reply immediately. And I went, yeah, I'd love to. And if you're coming to London, if you fancy it, you're welcome on my show. No pressure. You don't have to. But, you know, the invitation is there. Thought nothing of it. Thought never going to hear from him again. Then we had a couple more tweets and stuff like that. And then he got in touch and said, did you mean it? Can I really come on your show? I went, yeah. And he said, okay, can you bring a guitar and I'll play some songs if you want, if that's okay. And he kept saying, if that's okay with you. And I'm thinking, man alive, I would pay, I don't know, hundreds to have Stephen Page sit in front of me and play 4 songs. I would pay a fortune for that. And I had a private gig, and Kath was sat outside, and it was so joyous and so wonderful to see someone we're both a big fan of, you know, singing the hits and the new stuff. That's why I had to get Kath in and share the experience. It was did it sound good, Eben? Did it just sound like an old man, me, getting a little bit too excited?
Yeah, it sounded really good. I had to plug it into the Bose speakers to get good audio quality.
Yeah. It was good. Well, listen, the video is up on my YouTube channel. Thank you to Matthew Stevenson. If you just go to YouTube, type in Iain Lee, Stephen Page, you can see the slightly jerky video. And there will be a podcast of that going out later tonight, Kath. Is that gonna go out tonight, the Stephen Page thing, or is that gonna go out tomorrow? Tomorrow. It's gonna go out tomorrow. We'll have it out tomorrow. So there you go.
I bought 3 of his songs today whilst I was working.
From the new album or old ones?
Yeah. One from the new album and one from 2 from the old album on iTunes.
Brilliant.
And I can't stop listening to him.
Yeah, he's good, man. He's good. And I think the Bare Naked Ladies are good as well, even without him. But yeah, Stephen's good. He's got a great voice. He just puts brilliant, clever jokes into songs, and I think his wordplay is so good, you know. So I'm really glad you enjoyed it, Eben. Thank you.
Yeah. Thank you.
Anything else?
And one more thing.
Yep.
You were saying, I can't remember, was it Monday or something? You were talking about Jeremy Corbyn or something.
Say that again. You sorted out. On Monday we were talking about what?
Jeremy Corbyn.
Were we? I know someone called in and said that you don't hear people. Someone called in to talk about Jeremy Corbyn or something. I don't quite remember what was being said.
And I was just going to say, I mentioned my boring thing last Friday.
Yeah.
It was the Jeremy Corbyn talk,
Yeah.
and I had to wait in a queue for 2 hours to just listen to see what it was like.
Flippin' heck. Did he sing all the hits, or did he?
No, but I fell asleep in my chair.
Oh, well, did you?
Yeah.
Did you fall asleep when he was on?
Yes, I did.
Did you miss it?
No, I caught the last 10 minutes of him speaking.
So you queued for 2 hours?
Yeah.
How long did he speak for?
It was he was the last person on. The first two people were like old pensioners speaking, rambling on about the past and how Labour did so good to Swansea and that. And then Jeremy Corbyn came on for about half an hour, I think.
So you wait 2 hours, you queued for 2 hours. He did half an hour speech, you only caught the last 10 minutes. Well?
Yeah. But thankfully I set my phone up on a Periscope tripod, and I then watched it after that.
Well, Evan, that will teach you to go and listen to political speeches. Just stay at home and listen to the radio instead.
Yeah.
Evan, always nice to talk to you, man. Thank you very much. I'm glad you discovered Stephen Page as a result of this show. Tony!
Hello, Ian.
Hello, Tony. What you got for us?
Well, I also must add my admiration for the two recent interviews that you'd have. It was brilliant hearing Stephen Page. I didn't really know too much about him, but it's absolutely marvellous, I think, to sort of listen to the nuts and bolts behind these songs that you've heard in the past.
Yeah.
And hopefully we'll hear more of in the future. But Herbie Flowers was superb.
Wasn't he brilliant?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. George Webley used to speak of him a lot.
Yeah.
I think he had a lot to do with him.
Yeah.
And George had loads of tapes that he'd, private tapes that he'd got of sort of people like, who was it? Michael Jackson. He had lots of tapes of him singing on his own, which was a privilege to listen to. And George was tremendously knowledgeable, as you are here, about the music that you listen to.
Well,
and,
say that I didn't know Herbie Flowers played the bass on the Pink Panther theme.
No, I didn't know that.
Because when he first mentioned it at the top of the interview, I thought, I misunderstood him. He was just citing that as an example. Then he mentioned it again, and I had to ask, was that you? And yeah, he played the bass on the Pink Panther. That's incredible.
Yeah. Superb. Yeah, it is a great pity that he doesn't get due justice in terms of money. What does PPR stand for?
Players' Performance Rights or something.
That's it, yeah.
But I thought he handled that with good grace. He said his job was to turn up and get 20 quid or whatever it was, and that was that, and he was happy. With that, but he's played with everyone, man. He's played with
everyone. Yeah, absolutely
Bowie
true.
and Mark Bolan and the Beatles, all of that stuff.
Yeah, wonderful. Yeah, I didn't know you play the guitar, Ian.
I don't really. I have guitars. I can strum a few chords, but I'm not very good. I play a little bit of bass, but I'm not very good.
Oh, I see. Yeah, Stephen said your guitar was a nice one.
It was a beautiful guitar.
Oh, right. What is it, Ian? Have you got a case for it? That's pretty good.
It's an Epiphone. But I don't know which is the one with the moustache. That'll mean something to some people. It's got the moustache.
What, the F-hold?
No, it's got no. The moustache at the bridge. Is that it? I don't know. It's a big yellow one.
Right,
it's a big yellow wooden one. And boy, oh boy, Paige made it sound like it don't sound in my hands. Tony, thank you for that. 0844 499 1000. Kyle!
Evening, you alright?
Kyle, I'm on the top of the world looking down.
Well, do you know, you always do this. I was just about to get into bed, and slumber for the evening. However, you mentioned GBH. Which is amazing because I have the DVD. I'm in a bit of a dark place at the moment, so I decided to put that on because it always cheers me up if you've seen it.
Well, I've only seen the first 20 minutes.
Oh, you will love it. It's amazing. But the music is by Elvis Costello.
Oh, is it? Well, I'll try not to let that get in the way.
No, do you know what? You'll like it. It's a brilliant, I think it's called Couldn't Call It Unexpected Number 4, was the song on an album, and he sort of rebadged it with Richard Harvey. But it's brilliant, and I watched it last week. I finished watching it again.
How long is it? How long does the whole thing last? I mean, the episode 1 is an hour and a half.
I think it's 7 episodes, I think.
And are they all that length?
Roughly.
Beautiful. Yeah. I'm in, baby. Next week, that's it. I've got the week off. I'm doing GBH in a day.
Oh, you will love it. Tom Jorgensen is in it, who was dead family. There's something, and the lady who's in Coronation Street now.
Oh, it's the little girl, isn't she?
Yeah.
I thought I recognised. Here's the thing, right? I'm so old. It's so old. I saw her as a little girl, and I recognised her as, as the woman she would become. And I'm thinking, oh, this is good. We'll see her as a woman later on in the thing. And I got confused because I forgot that this was filmed 30 years ago, and she's only a woman now. She was a child then. Julie Walters in it. It's got loads of people as well that used to be on TV a lot in the 80s and the early 90s. The guy right at the very, very start who quits his job as the head of education or something with the moustache. He was in
William Gaunt.
Yeah, that's it. William Gaunt. He was in There's No Place Like Home. Was that the sitcom he was in? Yeah. And then there's the fella who's in that meeting as well, who's got the beady eyes, who was in something. Anyways, it's okay. It was 91. I'm going to say it was 1991. Would that be close?
I think it was 91, yeah.
Okay.
I think it was 91.
There we go. I'm looking forward to the first 20 minutes. It had me. And I thought, oh, yeah, I'm going to enjoy this. This is going to be a bit tasty.
The absolute scene I think you would like is the bit when, and obviously it's a bit down the line, but when everything is breaking down and... I don't
want spoilers!
No, it's not.
I don't want spoilers!
No, it's not a spoiler.
All right, go on, you tell me then.
It's the... Everything is crumbling. Roughly like...
Yeah.
And he does a weird thing which people...
Yep.
There you go.
Okay. That didn't spoil anything. Thank you, Kyle.
No, and last night's show was amazing, by the way, and Stephen was good. I also listened to Russell's show this morning. It was really good.
Oh, I'm glad we found Russell. I'm glad Russell found us.
So, no, it was all... And again, it's just another example, and I know you don't like this sort of praise, but another example why nobody else is doing this sort of radio. Brilliant stuff. Kyle,
you're a legend. I'm sorry to hear you're in a dark place. I hope you come out of it soonish. 0844 499 1000. And now, as a little tease, let's just hear in 3 words what British Katie will be talking to us about after the news at midnight. British Katie.
Mopping the floor.
Wow. If that doesn't... did you say mopping the floor?
That's 3 words. Yes, I did.
Can you make it sound sexy?
Well, that was it.
Oh, flippin' heck. Well, we just lost half our listeners.
Talk Radio.
Ah, man, an hour to go. You want to take part? You're more than welcome to. Very simple. Just give us a call. 0844 499 1000 is the telephone number, and we call you back. Coming up after the news at midnight, mopping the floor.
Late night, Iain Lee on Talk Radio.
We have ways of making you talk.
Well, I'm not the kind to kiss and tell, but I've been seen with fire up. I've never been with anything less than a 9. So fine, I've been on fire with Sally Field, gone past with a girl named Bo, but somehow they just don't end up as mine. It's a death-defying life I lead. I take my chances. I'd die for living in the movies and TV. But the hardest thing I ever do is watch my leading ladies kiss some other guy while I'm bandaging my knee. I might fall from a tall building, I might roll a brand new car, 'cause I'm the unknown stuntman that made Redford such a star. I've never spent much time in school, but I've taught ladies plenty. It's true, I hire my body out for pay. Hey, hey, I've gotten burned over Cheryl Teague's, blown up for Raquel Welch. But when I wind up in the hay, it's only hay. Hey, hey, I might jump an open drawbridge or Tarzan from a vine, 'cause I'm the unknown stuntman that makes Eastwood look so fine.
It's British Katie. She's not a foreigner.
I can't pretend to tonight. I can't pretend I'm British tonight. Sorry.
Wow, it's Belgian Katia.
That's it.
Who we voted to kick her foreign derriere out of this country. Go back home. Go back home.
Well, I'd like to, but there's problems with the Eurostar.
Can't you and Roger get married? Oh no, he's fictional.
Well, it's kind of in the pipeline, but it's not.
What's in Roger's pipeline?
Listen. This is why I'm calling.
Oh yes.
Oh, God, it's not doing it. Wow, what's E20? Okay, that's the beginning of the story. I had a late washing machine session. That's it. Listen. Did you hear that?
The beep beep beep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Right.
So I was falling asleep a little bit,
Yes.
and then I hear teet teet teet.
Beep beep beep. What noise do you make?
Teet teet teet.
Is that how you say beep beep beep? You say teet teet teet.
Teet teet teet. Yeah.
Teet teet teet. Pom 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 pom.
No, pam pom.
Pam pom pam pom pom.
And teet teet teet.
Teet 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 teet. Pam pom pam pom.
So I said, oh no, that's it, that's the pump, and it's what? It's 20. It was 22 midnight. I have to empty the pump of the washing machine.
The pump?
Oh yeah, and I can't do that. Well, I've done it.
What do you mean? So that teet teet teet.
Yeah.
Means you have to change the pump on the washing machine.
Well, that's it. It says the filter is kind of really easy with
No. You don't have to change the pump. You have to go down on the floor. There's a little circle at the front. You unscrew the circle, and you take out all the gunk.
And all the water came out.
Yeah, the water comes out, so you need towels.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then you take out all the dirt, and then you put the thing back on, and then Bob's your uncle.
Well, that's what I've done and still doing. You're hearing that?
You haven't done it properly.
I've done it properly.
You're not doing it properly.
There are not many ways you can do. I don't know.
I tell you what's wrong with it, and this is where it gets tricky. You have to take, because we get this machine. I believe it's an F4 on our machine.
Right.
If we get the F4 and we get it all the flipping time, so you have to the thing where the circle. Blimey, this is proper local radio. How to fix a washing machine. So. Yes. The thing with the circle is, it's like on it's at the bottom, isn't it?
Yeah.
On the front. And there's like a panel at the front that you can unscrew, yeah?
Yeah, I've done that.
You've unscrewed the panel, yeah?
Yes.
What you need to do, the tube that goes through to that filter, you need to squeeze it. There'll be stuff in that tube. It'll be coins. It'll just be coins, or if you got my children, it'll be massive stones. So you squeeze that, you have to put your finger in the filter and then up the tube, so you have to go around, you have to waggle it around, and then you take it out, and then Bob's your uncle, Fanny's your arm.
Right.
Have you done that?
I have done that.
No. Okay. Is yours a washer?
A washer dryer.
Thank you. Right. It happens during the drying phase, doesn't it?
No, because it's not even drying.
Right, here's what you do. Listen, I don't believe you've done what I just said to do, so...
Okay.
That's your problem.
Call a man.
No, don't call a man. But if you might as well... Here's the thing, right? If a washing machine breaks down, you might as well just buy a new washing machine.
You're kidding me.
Well, to call a man out, right, it's 85 quid plus VAT for him to come out, right?
Yes.
And then he'll say, right, well, the part's going to cost you 70 quid. So suddenly you're looking at 170 quid. Well, if that part might go again, or another part might go, so you might as well buy a washing machine for 300 quid.
Right. But,
here's what you need to do. This is how I get it. This is the cheat I have at my home.
Okay.
I don't put it onto wash and dry. I put it onto wash.
Yeah.
Then, when it's finished washing...
You dry.
Then I put it onto dry.
Yes.
Yeah. Is that what you do?
Yes, that's what I do.
That's a lie. You put it onto go... You're lying to me. You've lied to me twice this evening, Katia.
Okay.
You put it on to dry automatically after the wash.
Well, yeah, I didn't even know you could do that.
You didn't know you could do that. Of course you know you can do that. Hey, I'm old enough... My nan, I remember my nan getting a washing machine that you could program, right? That had programs in it. Like we have now, you just turn the dial and you press buttons, right? Except hers, it had these massive plastic rectangles, right? And they were computer programs... that would read it. So you had two. One was for like a fast wash and one was for like silks or wool or something. And there was a slot in the front. And you had to slot in the massive plastic memory thing into the washing machine so it would know what program it was doing.
When was that?
This was the late 1970s.
Really?
Yeah! Yep. That's it. But you might as well... Your washing machine's dead.
Okay. Not going to buy another one. Anyway, I did as you said.
Hang on a second. I thought you called in to talk about mop the floor.
Yes, I did.
Well, please do.
Well, I've done that.
No, you haven't. You've talked about washing machines.
Yeah, I had to mop the floor because of the washing. That's what I was doing whilst you said, sum up your call. Oh, yes, sum up your call. That wasn't it.
Sum up your call. Sum up your call.
Sorry, it wasn't. I was going to talk about these forums that you are on with the vibrating anuses.
There's not vibrating anuses, no.
Yeah, I haven't found those forums dedicated to that subject.
You haven't found them?
No.
Right.
I found threads. I haven't found forums.
Oh.
What?
There are threads in forums.
Yeah.
Dedicated to it.
Okay, start again. Are there really forums only dedicated to vibrating?
Oh, for God's sake!
Come on. Yes or no?
What is the question, caller?
Well, that's what you said.
What is your question, caller?
I'm not going to repeat that.
What is your question, caller?
Okay, I was listening to this DJ on the radio, and he...
Oh no, I accidentally pressed the cut off button. Pablo.
Hip, hip, hip.
Hip, 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 Pablo.
How are you diddling, you alright?
Yeah, I'm enjoying the show tonight. I'm glad it's kind of rocking along, because I'm really tired, and I've not looked at the papers. I've got nothing, and I'm enjoying the just bouncing along tonight.
Oh, good do. I hope I don't slam the brakes on much like I did the other night.
I didn't like Katia calling me a liar live on air. I thought that was a little bit rude and inappropriate. So Katia, you're banned for the rest of the day.
It's very fair.
It's only fair, Pablo. We have to be fair. What you got for us, boss?
Well, it's just a recommendation for a podcast, not mine, not the one I'm on, although Food to Watch Film By is available.
Thank you very much.
Under the radar. No, but obviously, like in your time travels and whatnot.
Yeah.
This one, it's in podcast form, but it's like an audio drama, just episodic as it goes.
What's it called? Because I've had did you recommend this online, on Twitter?
I have before, yes. Yeah, it's
go on.
It's ARS Paradoxica.
But is it any good?
It is. To be honest, it takes a couple of episodes to get into it, because it's essentially just to start off as this astrophysicist type person called Sally, who in the present day is working on some sort of levitation device. And in starting that off, she accidentally connects up with.
Hang on. There's two. There's Ars Paradoxica and there's Time Lapse.
Well, Time Lapse is done by the people who make ARS Paradoxica, and that's just all about them talking about the films that have inspired them.
What, time travel? Them talking about time travel films?
Yeah, they're 15 minutes each, but they talk about...
Groundhog Day, Primer, Predestination, Bill and Ted, The Infinite Man. What's The Infinite Man?
I've seen that reference. It's an old... I think it's a Hammer horror type...
Right.
Oh, no, actually, no, I'm thinking of The Tattooed Man. That's a different one.
I'm subscribing to that one. That one's subscribed. Are you sure you want to subscribe to Time Lapse? Yes, I do.
Well, it might be good to listen through the time lapse one because they're quite short, but it'll give you an insight into their working process, and it'll give you a kind of possibly an interest to listen to their work because it's really good because it's one of these things where she ends up basically this is all in very early doors in the first episode. Basically, her levitation device kind of connects up to something in 1945.
All right, why is everyone intent on giving me spoilers?
Oh yeah, that is merely the very start. That's the first 5 minutes type of thing. But yeah, it's essentially somebody out of time, but then it's all kind of because it's a long form type of thing. It goes on over a long period of time, so you kind of get to see how things change or maybe stay the same or don't. And it's you've got all the pieces are there from different time travel things that you'll know and love. I think it's really good. And the longer it goes on, the more and more timey-wimey and interesting and paradoxical.
I don't really know how. I don't really know how you download a series of podcasts on iTunes. I've just tried.
I think with iTunes you can just do the whole a job lot. I think you can do through your settings, but you can just do one episode at a time. That's generally how I do it.
I want to have them all ready. Anyway, it's not letting me do what I want it to do, so I'll do that another day. Thanks, man. Well, I shall dig them.
No worries, and give them a try. But as I say, I think it kind of runs the gamut. It takes all the good bits out of what's out there and puts it in kind of an episodic narrative, and you're kind of there with the Sally character. But the longer it goes on, the more you get connected with some of the other people involved. But it's really good and kind of weaves in the actual historical events into it as well. So it's all quite nice in that regard.
Excellent stuff, Pablo. Thank you very much indeed. 0844 499 1000. The last 42 minutes of the show, and suddenly I am shattered. 0844. I've got a day of doing nothing tomorrow till 4 o'clock. Then I have to go and take the dog and give it to an old woman, and then come and do this rubbish. But until then, I'm having a lazy one. 0844 499 1000 is the telephone number. If you want to give us a call. Andrew!
Hip, hip, hip.
Hip, 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 Andrew. What you got for us, boss?
Love you, mate.
Huh?
I love you, mate.
I love you too, buddy.
Can I just say, happy birthday, Rob.
It's not you, it's me. I need a little time, a little space to find myself again, Oh, yeah.
It's Jimmy Nail.
I goodbye when I hear it. She smiles, but our heart's already out there. Walking down the street, she says,
I don't want nobody else. I love you. She's lying. You're always and it's you. She's lying. Sweet darling. Why does she pretend? Ain't no doubt it's plain to see. Woman like you's no good for me. Well, thanks very much indeed, Andrew. I appreciate that. It's funny to think that Jimmy and Ale not only 0844 499 1000, by the way. We've got no more calls, so now's a great time to call. It's funny to think that Jimmy and Ale not only had a successful acting career, but also had a successful music career. And he played... he did concerts, didn't he? I remember him doing some shows at Wembley Arena. Imagine going I'm going to a concert tonight. Oh, yeah. Where you going? Ah, Wembley Arena. Who you seeing? Who you seeing at Wembley Arena? Jimmy Nail. Huh? You gonna go and see Jimmy Nail? Why? Well, I like that song, She's Lying. Not so keen on Crocodile Shoes. Right, well, that's it. Those are the two songs. What else are you going to do? 0844 499 1000. I, of course, was in 2 episodes of Spender at the age of... How old was I when in Spender? Can you drive at 17? You can drive at 17. I was 17... And it was, I can't tell you the year because I can't remember the year, whatever year I was 17, but it was just after Freddie Mercury died, like the day before I went up to Newcastle to film it. Or a couple of days before Freddie Mercury died. So what year was that? Was that 91? No. No. 90. Or 91. One of the two. Was it 91? And, yeah, and I was in Spender, and, because my dad was working on it as a props man, and he sort of knew Jimmy Nail a bit, and my dad was very dodgy. He was an absolute dodgepot, and he pulled some strings to get me some extra work on there, which was great, because I wanted to be an actor, and it got me a few quid as well. And I got extra money. I had to dress up as a copper and drive a police car. And you got extra money for driving the cars. It was called Special Skills. And I think you got like an extra 45 quid. So it was about 90 quid I was getting. And you can't see me. You see the car, because I tried to drive the car past where there'd been a ram raid. And you see the car kind of screech past and then stop. And that's it. I got 90 quid for that. And then I was at a scene in an airport, and I had to push a trolley, and you couldn't really see me in the airport, but that was all right. Now that's interesting. I've while we were talking, I've installed during one of the news breaks. I've installed what's it called? Bullware. Bullware? Is that what it was called? The Stephen Murdoch thing? Bullboy. No, bull was short for bully. Bullboy. Bullware, bull stop, and bullproof. That's it, bullproof. And I've installed it, and I'm getting actually some swear words are coming through on Periscope. So that there is the bumchin is coming through. Someone's calling me bumchin, and they're doing the thing of putting the spaces between the letters. And someone's calling me sugar tits. Oh, I said that out loud now. I've done an Anna Rayburn and said. So if you're still listening, Stephen, needs little bit of work. Great idea to come up with an app that can stop cyberbullying, but it is flawed. And once people realise you can just put gaps between the letters of the bullying words, then I'm afraid that it's slightly flawed. So keep at it, but maybe just hesitate before you start charging $14.99 for that. Oh, you can come in if you want. I know you're busy. Are you busy? Well, if you got stuff to do, do stuff you got to do. Then I'll just sit here. Yeah, you be 5 minutes. You let your mate just drown for 5 minutes in a sea of no calls. No. Yeah, I'm your mate. We'll have a look in the papers, shall we? I bet, my right nostril, here's the thing. Here's what I was going to ask you about. I think I've got shingles. Well, I don't, but I've got a spot behind my ear. Like one spot behind my... What are you putting that face for? You can't contribute. Do your work. If you're not coming in, you can't contribute. One spot behind my ear. Now, what makes me think that's shingles? Because that is the exact place where I first noticed I had, chicken pox. I remember being at school, right, and I had a spot in exactly the same place, and I said to Kevin Trotman, can you have a look behind my ear? And he went, oh, there's a spot there. I was 7 years old, and that subsequently flared up into chicken pox. Why are you pulling a face? Are you coming in here to work?
Well, I've got one more thing to do, but I can do it in here. I'm just wondering how that hypochondria is going.
Would you want to have a look at it?
What, your hypochondria?
No, the spot.
It's terminal. Go on.
Come around here and have a look.
I'm not a medical professional anymore.
This is exactly the spot where I first discovered I had chicken pox. What is that?
It's a freckle, isn't it?
That's not that is not a freckle. That
It is.
That is not a freckle.
Can I touch it?
Yeah, touch it. That is a spot.
It's a mole.
No, it's not. No, it's not, because it's not been there before. It's only just appeared. So it could actually be a cancer.
No, oh God.
Well, but it's not been there. It's
I should
only
never have said a mole,
It's
should I?
only appeared there, in literally this week. I know my body inside out, literally inside out.
Could it be fleas?
No.
Could it be a flea bite?
No, what do you think I am?
You've got a dog.
She's not got fleas. She might have. No, she's not. We did her recently. That's not a flea bite.
I don't know what they look like. I'm not an animal
They
person.
don't look like that. Then fleas don't go for that. That's not meaty. That's bonious. They go for flesh.
Isn't there a nice big vein behind there?
No. They wouldn't get much there. And fleas don't have a map of the body going, well, we've landed on the arm, but I've heard a rumour of the great river of blood behind the ear. Let's head up that way, guys.
They might be evolving.
No. Well,
all right then, Dr. Lee. Why did you ask me?
Well, no, nothing. Well, I've got nothing to talk about, and I've not looked in the papers.
Right.
Anyway, so this David Brent film wasn't very good.
I know. That's embarrassing.
It was weird. I've never been to a premiere before. They're a little bit rubbish. Are they? Yeah, they're a bit rubbish. Once you get in, you're just in a big cinema.
Did people dress up?
No! People in jeans and T-shirt.
Were there not girls there with those special Nicholas dresses on?
There was some. Oh,
Come
there
on,
were.
name.
I don't
names.
I don't know. We didn't see anyone really famous because we got there at a weird time.
They're never the really famous ones that do that.
No, and also we didn't get. If you were, we saw Toby Anstis. If you were really,
Did he have knickers on?
No, if you were, he didn't. He just wore like a short sleeve shirt and jeans. Flipping it. If you were really famous, you got siphoned off to do an extra lap of the red carpet.
I see.
I did. I had two people ask my photograph. I was happy to oblige. £5 each. That's £10. Beautiful. So that was good. Ed, don't talk to them. Put them on. We've got 2 calls. Don't talk to them. Put them on. I mean, seriously, I'm here literally filling for time, and he's having a great old chinwag out there. Let's go to Victoria. Yes, Victoria.
Hello, Ian.
Hello, Victoria.
I'm getting a bit concerned.
Well, because I've got ear cancer now.
No, not
I'm concerned.
He's got terminal hypochondria.
You're going to have a terminal fistitis in a minute.
Gosh.
But kind of on that subject, I'm getting more and more concerned about Film Ring.
Uh-oh. Why? What's happening?
Well, you haven't mentioned if they've even arrived.
They've arrived.
Oh, thank God.
They've the stalker and the hero and They Killed My Cat have arrived. They are sat in my kitchen right now.
Good.
I had this horrible idea you were going to be standing there naked, showing us things that we had to look at.
No. By the way, Dennis, Ed muffed up taking your call. Can you call back, please? Yeah, they have arrived. They are in my kitchen, and we'll be watching that. And Jarrett has assured me that he's going to send me some scenes that were deleted from the movie Kung Fu Elliot. So that's happening, man. It's happening. It's a done deal.
Okay, that's cool. You know, last week you were talking about stalker songs.
What were we talking about? We're talking about paedophile songs.
Yes, no, that was weeks ago. Last week you were talking about songs that.
All love songs. All love songs. This is my theory, Catherine.
Yeah.
Bear this out. All love songs are basically written from the perspective of a stalker. They're all obsessive.
Well, they can be construed as that.
Yeah, they're all obsessive and insane. Any love song.
Well, no.
Name a love song.
I Should Be So Lucky.
That's not a love song.
Yes, it is.
Let's get the lyrics to I Should Be So Lucky. Is it my imagination?
There is no conversation. I think about you all the time. Actually,
Thank
you're right.
you. Next one.
No, isn't it? Right.
No.
You've got this A about tea.
Next one. Give me another song.
No, hang on. Can I give you my? Can I postulate?
I've got a brilliant one.
Go on. Let's hear the song.
Okay, it's Creeping Up on You by Darren Hayes.
Okay, well.
Well, there you go.
There
The
we go.
title says it up. Pervert.
Isn't
exactly.
it actually that your stalker thinks it's the other way round? Stalkers don't
Bring up the lyrics.
Stalkers don't realise they're being weird, do they?
No, but
they think that there's a.
But all
thing
love
going on.
songs come from the perspective of a stalker. They all do. It's a fact.
All right. Okay, hang on.
Give me-
Especially for you.
Especially for you. I want to let you know what I've been going through. None of your business. That's slightly different because it's a duet. But if dreams were wings, I would have flown to you. Imagine if someone said
To be
to
where
you,
you are, no matter how far.
yeah, exactly. Stalker. Next. They all are.
The biggest one is I drove all night.
Yeah, I drove all night.
Crept in your room.
Yeah.
Is that all right?
No, it's not.
Don't creep. If
Roy.
he knows it's not all right.
Pervert. Absolute pervert.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Anything else, Victoria?
No.
Okay. Thanks very much. Tutty bye.
That was nice.
Do you want to go and help Ed get Dennis up from
Yeah.
the dead?
Yeah.
From the dead.
I hope he's not dead.
Well, no. You
Because his
never.
phone bill will cost him a fortune.
You never know these days, guys. 0844 499 1000. 0844 499 1000 is the telephone number. If you want to give us a call, you can. I'm convinced by it. I'm absolutely convinced by it. That all love songs are basically, if you listen to them, they're 900 people on Periscope saluting you. They come from the perspective of a stalker. That's why, and they're just a little bit weird, really. 0844 499 1000. Boy, oh boy, isn't the lineup for this year's Strictly Come Dancing looking dull? Will Young and Ed Balls. Pop star Will Young will compete in the new series of Strictly Come Dancing, joining politician Ed Balls in the lineup revealed so far. Oh, man. Singer Will, 37, tweeted, "So excited!" after Strictly announced he would be a contestant in the BBC show. The singer, who... here's a question for you. When did he win Pop Idol? Anyone? 2002. 14 years ago. He said, "As a fan of Strictly for years, I've always imagined myself on the show, but the timing has not been right until now. But my career has not been in a big slump until now," he says. He said, "The dancing I have done has always been with a microphone in hand. Now there will be no microphone or band, just me, my partner, and the dance floor." As lineups go, Will Young and Ed Balls has not got me salivating at the gills. Is that what you salivate from? I don't know. Dennis is in Dunstable. Hip, 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 Dennis.
Good evening, Ian.
Good evening.
Good morning, actually.
Well,
you were a bit hypochondriac over that button, weren't that little pellet behind your ear?
A little pellet? I've got a pellet now behind my ear. Makes it sound even worse.
Oh, yeah. I don't know. Worried about a spot? My God, I'm worried about a spot.
You're meant to be worried about spots. These things could be anything.
Yeah, but it's too late to do anything about it anyway.
No, what do you mean it's too late? For goodness sake.
When you're down, you're going downhill.
Oh, bloody
rapidly.
hell. Oh, God.
Anyway, how are you, dear boy?
I'm all right, thank you, Dennis. I'm off next week, and I'm really looking forward to it, and I'm going to do my best to not do anything.
I've been going off for a long time, actually.
Well, yeah, exactly. You keep going off. That's the problem.
This is the problem of being retired. You never get a holiday.
I would love to be retired.
Yeah, but then you don't get any more holidays then.
Well, yeah, your whole life is a holiday.
Is it buggery? Sorry, is it not? No, it's not.
I would enjoy, but I wish I had enough money to stop working, because I would stop immediately.
Well, I'd stop. I'd go back to work if you gave me the money you owed me.
I tell you what, we'll do a swap.
I've done me 90, for God's sake.
What money do I owe you?
And my old lady's 91 now.
Okay, yeah.
£2 for never making it to 90.
It's
I'm 91
double.
now.
It's double or quits we've gone for.
Yeah, I know.
So we got another year.
Well, I'm in my 92nd year then now.
Well,
so start saving up. Start saving up.
You need to calm down, Dennis, because if you keep getting excited like this, you won't make it to tomorrow.
You're right, I won't.
Well, how's things going with you? You all right?
I've had a session in hospital.
Oh, you had a a hospital session. Okay, right. What?
Yeah.
Is that why you've been a bit quiet?
No, well, November. Then they said I'd had a heart attack. Well, I never had a bloody heart attack.
When did you have when did they say you had a heart attack?
Beginning of November.
Oh well.
I've had the paper. It's not. It was a slowing down of my heart, which is normal for me. It does slow down. I've had it happen quite often.
Wow.
But there we are, you see, because I lead such an exciting life.
You and me both, man.
Anyway, I got the disc you sent me. Very good.
Yeah,
very good.
Absolute pleasure. I'm glad you got it. I hope you like it.
And I'm still on Three's County.
What?
What? 50 Shades of Grey.
Thank you very much indeed. Good. Well, Dennis, always a pleasure to talk to you, mate. Take care.
All the best, man.
Love to the family. Tatty bye. 0844 499 1000 is the telephone number. Yes, Anna.
Hello. Creepy love songs.
What?
Creepy love songs.
Oh yeah.
Every Breath You Take by the Police. That's creepy, isn't it?
Well, that is about a stalker.
Is it?
Yeah, isn't it about a stalker? It's about a divorce, isn't it? Isn't it about his ex-wife or something?
I have no idea what the story behind it is.
No, it's a stalker. It's a stalker. No, I'm getting confused with Phil Collins, which is about his ex-wife. No, that is about a stalker.
Oh, okay.
Look at John Chalice banging on in the paper. You know who John Chalice is, don't you?
No.
He's Boise. Marlene.
Oh, okay, yeah.
People want these gentle comedies back. Shows like Little Britain are nasty and cruel. Just because Are You Being Served is coming back. Here's the thing, guys. Are You Being Served was never funny the first time around. Nasty and cruel. It was horrible. Are You Being Served? It was homophobic, and they made jokes about a pussy. Oh, that reminds me. I found. Oh, hang on a minute. Hang on a minute. Let me play you. Listen to this, Kath. You'll like this. Headphones off, because you'll like this. This is from 1931. It's Harry Roy and his orchestra. Stay there, Anna. Listen to this. Here we go. Oh, hang on a minute. Let me get it to the beginning. This is a great song. Here we go. 1931. 1931. Harry Ray and his orchestra. This song is incredible. Isn't it? Here we go. And Harry Ray comes in. Harry Roy, sorry.
There's one pet I like to pet, and every evening we get set. I stroke it every chance I get. It's my girl's pussy.
Yeah.
Seldom plays and never purrs, and I love the thoughts it stirs, but I don't mind because it's hers. My girl's pussy.
Oh.
Often it goes out at night, returns at break of dawn. No matter what the weather's like, it's always nice and warm. It's never dirty, always clean, in giving thrills, never mean. But it's the best I've ever seen, is my girl's pussy.
So that was nice that in the 1930s they were singing songs about animal welfare. Huh? That's a genuine 1931 song by Harry Roy and his orchestra about, about his young lady's cat. I meant to play that. I found that the other day, and it really is an incredible song.
Hey, how do I reserve my seat at
what?
in the Resident
Oh, you have to get there early and put a blanket or a towel down.
Okay.
That's what you have to do.
I've got my clippers in my little bag.
Oh, you weirdo.
There's one pet I like to pet, and every evening we get this. I stroke it every chance I get. It's my girl's birthday.
Isn't it unbelievable? So, John 0844 499 1000. John Chalice. I don't subscribe to. I think it's. The world has changed. This is Boise. My Boise voice. Marlene. Marlene, the world has changed. It's more brutal than it used to be. There is so much edginess about it. How many people died in World War I? But there is people trying to push the boundaries, Marlene, to see how far they can go. I think it's much more cruel. Like with disabilities in Little Britain. They say if you laugh at it, you accept it as being in the broad tapestry of life. But I don't subscribe to that. I know an awful lot of disabled people are upset about the way they've been portrayed. I also find the way they've portrayed women unsettling. It's a matter of taste. A lot of that has disappeared. This is John Chalice, right? Talking about why Are You Being Served is better than anything that's on at the moment. Well, hang on a second, John Chalice. How were homosexuals portrayed in Are You Being Served? I'm free! Basically, you've got a gay man walking around all the time, at every opportunity, doing the innuendo that he's up for anal sex.
But
I'm free!
They were the only homosexuals that were acceptable on television back then.
Fun homosexuals!
Had to be hilarious.
I'm free! Oh! It's all that.
Oh.
It's all that. I mean, what are you talking about? John, shut up. You're an old man. No one's interested.
They do this, though, don't they? Parky did it a bit. Oh, all the talk shows now are rubbish.
Yeah, and I think,
more work.
Between the period of November the 13th and March the 21st, I thought that all radio was rubbish. You know,
it happens.
We do these things, but it's just that because they're bringing back all the old sitcoms for one episode each, and I bet they're seeing if any of them fly, and they'll make a series. The pictures look good, right? The picture of the Are You Being Served, it looks like Are You Being Served.
Well, so it should.
Yeah, the picture of it's got Tommy Cockles in Simon Day, in Sickness and in Health.
Mm-hmm.
It looks like a good picture. And the Steptoe Son doesn't look so good.
It's a special series, isn't it? It's a special kind of, let's celebrate what happened before.
Oh, it's weird, look. So they're doing, they're doing Porridge. That's got Kevin Bishop in, I think. I saw him tonight. Goodnight, Sweetheart.
Oh.
And a prequel to Keeping Up Appearances called Young Hyacinth. Well, they are, they're looking for one that's gonna float. Yeah, they're looking for a series. I bet Young Hyacinth will get a series. They're looking for but why is Goodnight Sweetheart included in this canon of so-called, and I think it's misplaced, but so-called classic sitcoms? Because Goodnight Sweetheart was rubbish. Most sitcoms in front of an audience are rubbish.
The ones that were on BBC One are.
Yeah.
Because they don't want to terrify anyone. It was all kind of smile humour, wasn't it? Nothing that was going to be massively funny because that might be offensive. All the best stuff was on, 2.
Here's a question. Name a sitcom from ITV. It's tough, isn't it? It's a tough one.
There must be one.
Yeah, well, there's loads, but and the ITV have never really managed to pull off. By the way, I don't know if we're broadcasting or not. I'm being told that by some people that we're not, so I don't know.
Was the Robin's Nest and all that? Was that and Me and My Girl? Were they ITV?
They were ITV.
Yeah, they were good. I think.
No,
I was a child.
Me and My Girl wasn't, but it was Friday night, and so it felt good.
Brushstrokes, was that BBC?
That was BBC.
I'm not saying that it was good. I'm just saying these are things I remember.
Yeah. But ITV, they did, what was the, do you remember Davina McCall did a sitcom?
No.
Yes. Davina McCall had a sitcom. When they were trying to find a thing, when they all knew that Davina McCall was brilliant, and I think she's one of the most brilliant people on television. I don't know why she's not on it more.
I think she soaked it all up.
Yeah, she did, and she's, I've met her a few times. She's such a nice woman. I mean, just so lovely. But when they were trying to, remember she had that chat show that wasn't very good. They were trying to find a vehicle for her, and she was in a sitcom. And do you remember there was, what was Brighton Bells? That was ITV, and that was an American. That was the Golden Girls. The Golden Girls was made in England, starring. Oh God, who was
Stephanie Cole in it?
Don't know. Oh, who was in Brighton Bells? Can't think. Someone will know. 08444991000. Someone will know. But, yeah, ITV sitcoms, they just never, I mean, the BBC has had huge successes. The BBC ones are generally rubbish, but My Family ran for, about 15 years?
Yeah.
And 2.4 remember 2.4 Children?
Just about.
And the fella in it died, didn't he?
Gary.
He lived near me, I think, in Muswell Hill. And he died suddenly in Australia. How do I know that? I don't know. 'Cause he looked like a singer in an obscure band that we like. That's why he was TV's Tim Smith. And he was a good actor. He was in a couple of other things and he died. But they ran for years, and that would have run for a lot longer.
But wasn't that around the time where, I mean, for ages, all the good sitcoms came from America. And I think they still do it better than us.
Yeah.
And that was around the time of sort of the Frasier and Roseanne. I still like Roseanne.
Yeah, Roseanne was good because of the long phone cable.
Really long.
That was the only reason I really liked
coveted that because ours was still stuck to the wall.
Yeah, that we'd never seen anything like it in this country.
I couldn't go and take a private phone call.
No.
There's a boy. Everyone's standing round.
We never had boys phoning up.
I had one boy phoning me up. You only need the one.
But ITV, it is Channel 4 and BBC 2 that generally.
And then you kind of dread it if they get picked up and put onto the mainstream because they're always going to be sort of tempered down. Yeah,
there's that thing. Do you know what? My mind has just suddenly just switched off, and my head has gone. It's nearly bedtime, dude. It's nearly bedtime.
Yeah, emphasis on the nearly. We've got 9 minutes.
Oi! What is this? I'm literally just going through. I'm not seeing the papers at all today. What is this? What's this stupid story?
Go on.
Disaster dogs named Charlie and calamitous cats called Oscar cost owners the most in vet fees, a study has found. What? Does that mean anything to you? Is that in English?
Yeah.
So dogs called Charlie and Oscar are the most expensive cats and dogs.
Or is it that's the most common dogs and cats name?
Yeah, you could be.
That's what it'll be.
Yeah, it could be.
I think my computer's slowing things down in it. It might be interfering with your. Shall I go and take it out?
It's slowing my brain down.
Right, let me take it out a second. I won't be a minute.
Tea. Here we go, guys. Tea's gone off the boil. Young drinkers prefer it green and fruity. We used to be. If you're under 30, you won't know this. We used to be a tea drinking nation. English breakfast tea drinking nation, and we're not anymore. I don't drink, what we call builder's tea, PG Tips or Yorkshire. I don't drink that tea anymore. I drink Red Bush when I'm in here, and I allow myself 2 cups of coffee a day. Before that, I was having a lot of coffee. No one drinks like actual proper tea anymore. And Ruki Saeed, the consumer editor of the Mirror, is going to tell us why. Trouble is brewing. Bad start for traditional tea, as younger people opt for green and fruit versions instead. Classic builder's tea is feeling the strain, as many aged 25 to 34 shun the drink, claiming it has too much caffeine and it stains their teeth. It does tannin, isn't it? It's all the tannin in it. It's weird. No one uses loose leaf tea anymore.
Well,
oh,
I went through a phase about a year ago. I bought myself a proper teapot.
Yeah,
because I got taken out somewhere really posh. To like a tea shop, and I thought, well, this is a really nice experience.
Yes.
And I thought, I'm going to be that mum that gets the teapot out. I did it for about a week. I mean, it's a right faff. I had to buy a strainer.
The gunk that builds up in a teapot is it's just horrible, and it's not. It's nice to do it once, but it's like this. It's like the Breville.
Yeah.
It's
nice.
nice.
I've got one of them and all.
Yeah, I know. And the Breville's great for a week, and then you just think, let's put it back in the back of the cupboard. We're going to use it again. Just putting it in the back of the cupboard for a while.
Here's the thing. I don't really know the difference between most of the teas. I can't really taste the difference.
I don't like Lady Grey or Earl Grey.
Oh, I like early Grey.
Early Grey?
I like Earl Grey.
No, I don't.
Lady Grey's more orangey, isn't it?
I don't know. I don't like those teas. I like a bit of chamomile. And I like Red Bush, of course.
No one likes green tea.
No, no.
It tastes like eggs.
I don't even think the Japanese like green tea. We had green tea ice cream. That was nice. Yeah, green tea ice cream.
Weirdos.
No. But done from like a Mr. Whippy in Japan. So it wasn't scooped. It was like Mr. Whippy, but green tea flavour. That was actually was quite Moorish.
They really are quite ingenious as a people, aren't they?
They are. They certainly are.
Yeah.
They're canny, they are polite, and they're ingenious.
There's also a dark side. Let's not go into that.
All right, mate. No need to bring that up. Britain's changing tastes are reflected in drinking habits and sales. It found 1 in 3 people aged 55 to 64, drink at least 5 cups a day. Oh, then it just goes into
Blah,
loads of
blah,
numbers.
blah.
Blah, blah, blah.
Buy more tea, is what they're saying. It's a nice shrub.
Thank you. Just going through the... I've not seen anything in the papers, but it turns out there ain't anything in the papers anywhere. Hungry seals will rip your kid's arm off. Oh.
Okay.
Warning as children swim with beasts. I'd watch that if that were on...
What, swimming with beasts?
Swimming with beasts. Vicious 6-foot seals that can rip a child's arm off are swimming among holidaymakers who feed them thinking they are cute and cuddly.
Oh, you'd have to be nuts.
With another freakish heat... This is in England, is it? With another freakish heatwave on the horizon, experts say it's only a matter of time before someone is brutally attacked.
Well...
The warning...
Right.
Yeah.
That's always true.
Yeah. It's only a matter of time before someone's murdered in this
happens.
studio. Yeah.
It's... I mean... Carry on.
The warning emerged as sun-seeking hordes...
Careful.
Head to the beach, unaware of the lurking danger. Notices have been posted in St Ives, Cornwall, where a colony of more than 40 of the mammals lives. Harbour manager Steve Bassett urged someday... This isn't an urge. So Harbour manager Steve Bassett urged, someday someone will lose an arm.
That's not urging, that's an opine.
That's not...
He opined.
Yeah, that's not... Oh, we didn't get to talk about Miss Bum Bum.
Oh, what a shame. That, to me, is the biggest chancer in the world has thought of that. How we get to see more bums. I know, let's do a competition.
It's very, very cheeky. Yes!
Oh.
The dying seconds of the show, I save it.
Talk Radio. 24-hour radio debate and entertainment.
Talk Radio.
We'll get you talking.